Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, saints of the Most High God. How are you guys doing out there today? How is everybody doing out there today? Shalom, family. Make sure you come in and hit that like button. All right? Make sure that you come in and hit that like button. I am Elder Rawchaa, for those of you who don't know, and this is a gathering of Christ Church, and you are tuned into G.O.C.C. Media, okay, tonight. I pray that everyone's blessed. I'm good. I'm fighting the daily battles that come, but I'm good. You wouldn't be a warrior if you ain't tried in the fire. I'm good, man. Yeah, it's been just been extra busy. Just been extra busy. Okay. All right. Right before our holy days are coming through in our fall month. And speaking on that, make sure you guys hit the like button. Hit the like button. And I also want to put something out there for you leaders out there, just so you know, just so my beautiful leaders, the shepherds of the flock know. And you know, I spoke to a brother who I saw, and you know, and I'm not going to put his name out there, but he already knows. But I have to put this out there because we seem to keep running into just little silly mistakes, and it's all good. And that's because a lot of people watch us a lot of our people are supposedly a part of our church, but they watch online, but they're not in an actual body a lot of times. And I know they mean well, but this is the thing. We don't try to stop grown-ups from listening to whatever music they decide to listen to when it comes to these Israelite camps or groups. But because I don't know these people personally, but it seems like we always have to put it out there because we're the shepherds over these sheep. And it's no different than when the scripture says they take silly women captive. Not only do they take silly women captive, they also take silly men captive, unfortunately. And brother, I'm not talking about you as a silly man, but you know, when you're tuned into the body, you know, you're just going to be a little bit more tight knit. So, you know, like I told the brother, I had to reach out to his area leader and just to put this out as a public announcement to the people, because some people listens to this brother named Rawchaa. I don't know him. I think I heard one or two of his songs before. He has nice music, to be quite honest. Very talented brother. I think they said the brother moved over there to Africa somewhere before. I don't know what part of Africa, to South Africa, Zimbabwe, somewhere out there like that. I don't know. I really don't keep up with these brothers. You know, people who, you know, or lone wolves or individualites. And that's no shot. It's just the truth about it. But because Christ said he's coming back for a body. So any man who reads the Bible would understand that. So basically what I'm saying is, to get to the point, there was a message a brother put out, and the only reason I have an issue with it is because people are all subscribed and tuned into each other on Facebook and Instagram, and obviously I am too, and I'm a little younger. I remember, I'm 40, so I can see, the people in my age group and my demographic of what's going on there. But it was basically that some type of holy day starts on, let me see if I can get it, because one second. Let me see if I can get it, because I don't want to misquote, but I'm going to tell you right now, we don't have no holy day starting in August. So, you know what, I can't see it there, but it's okay. It's all good. So basically that there's some holy day or something like that starting August, you understand, 2nd, and it's like, nah. When I seen it and the way it was worded, I was just like, man, this is just way, way, way off. And the first time, no disrespect, I heard the brother's music, that's what he said, Daily Hebrew. So you guys are already in tune, so you guys should know better already. The feast of the 5th month, right? So it's nothing going on right now. It's nothing going on right now. The shepherds and the leaders will let you know what's going on. When I first heard, when somebody let me hear the brother's song, I told him to turn it off. I said he has good talent, but I'm not really dealing with a spirit of a person who say they celebrate Sabbath on Tuesday or Wednesdays and following the moon. I really just don't want that in my spirit. And I just left it there. But now I'm seeing people posting. It's like one thing for you to listen to somebody's music, eat the meat and spit out the bones, but then you spread it around to the rest of the body members. It's like, hey, are y'all under your shepherds, or are you just under anybody? Right? So you guys have to like grow up one day and mature, because we can't save you from the devil and all of his warfare and all of his spiritual tactics if you just follow people just because they have talent, like Korah. And I'm not calling that brother Korah, I don't know him. You just follow anybody and you're just all over the place, being tossed to and fro from every wind of doctrine. So all I'm gonna just say is just be careful out there. Just be very careful. If you want to listen to music because it sounds good, all praises. But I'm realizing that, our people really, man, we have really been done a number on. We have loyalty more so to a talent. And don't forget, like I always say, the devil has talent. He's talented in more than most of you. That's just the truth about it. So we seem to still have a dedication to vanity. What's the talent of the Most High for if a person is going to hell? In all these people in the world, what's the talent for? And I'm going to show you what's going on out there. For example, really quick. Right? Just give this for example. Do you see this sister here? I love my sisters. But I don't love nonsense. Okay, so this is no different. Sierra has talent, but she's sitting here in some, you understand, demonic pose of the Baphomet. You understand, and Kali, and you understand all of these different goddesses. Okay, so I'm just saying, we really have to be careful who we follow. All right, because this is what's truly going on out here. Don't matter about someone's talent. Hey, in the scriptures it says obedience is better than sacrifice. So whatever your talent you have to sacrifice to the Most High and give as a gift to the Most High, no, obedience is better than that. You have to remember that obedience is better than that. Period. All right, so I just want to put that out there really quick. I'm not going to stay on that, but there's all of these sisters out there doing that, by the way, too. And you know what's funny? I left a comment in one Instagram post. it was a beautiful sister. She was doing it. I'm like, man, nah, that ain't it. And guess what? She's like, leave me alone. Just going crazy on me in the comments. Leave me alone and all of this stuff. And I blocked her. I'm like, listen, you think your prettiness get you somewhere? Nobody care about how pretty you are. Right? Nobody care about how pretty you are. Once again, obedience is better than sacrifice. What you have to give is prettiness. But obedience is better than that. Okay? Beauty is vain. All right? So I just wanted to put that out there. If you want to know about the holy days, all you have to do is come to, our website. Now, that's not the website. That's the Hebrew and Bible Academy, but I'm going to show you. For those of you who may be new, all right, all you need to do, just come here, guys. If you need to know about the holy days and what's going on, you can ask your area leader, your shepherds, and it's really good for you to get under a body. You following online and adding people online, and then come to find out you get in trouble, then we call the leaders, and they don't know some of you guys out there. So you got to be really careful, because it's a lot of people out there who's following just online, and it's all good. But don't be sending stuff to our sheep who's actually under the shepherds. That's not cool. Okay, decide who your follower and your master is. Period. All right, and I love the brother, because the brother took it down, because he honestly didn't know. So I already spoke to the brother and let him know I was going to put it out there to, you understand, the leader in his area, but I had to still put it out. So I love the brother. He's a good brother. He didn't know. We just love each other. We just love our people because we're Israelites, but we just have to be really careful. That's all I'm saying, right? So you can just come here, guys. Look. All right. We got the homeschool, the academy, the church, right? We got the core doctrine. And that's one thing we need to learn about. We're really not following any day by the moon. Look at that. We got the holy day list, the holy day breakdowns. Anything you want to know, you can come. Let's see here. Right? It's nothing going on in August 2nd. August 30th, 2025. Okay? The fall holy day and the new season of fall. That's what that new month means. It's a new season of fall. That's all it means. You got spring, the new month, okay? Hey, you got summer, and you got fall, and you have winter. So don't let me catch anybody out there following some garbage when you have the whole truth and nothing but the truth here. Okay? So decide who you want to, your shepherds, who you want to be under. Blowing of trumpets, just to remind you guys, August 30th, 2025. Day of Atonement, September 8th. Then we have the Feast of Tabernacles, September 13th. Just to give you guys an understanding so nobody out there is confused. Sometimes people will rap a song like Pan and play the flute to you, and then you just out of there. But you know, keep on making music, my brother. May the Most High bless the brother to find whatever he needs to find, whoever this brother is, whatever the case may be. I don't have nothing against somebody who I don't know. I'm sure he didn't tell somebody in our church to spread anything. So that's not his fault, but I still have to put it out there. There's a lot of rappers, Israelite rappers, who's traveling, and people as simple as the day is old and can't just listen to their music, which personally me, I'm not listening to no man's music with false doctrine. That's me. You can rap as good as you want to, but that's just me. As a man from a certain era, you got to be all the way 100% solid with it. And that's me. But y'all can do what you want to do. But at least learn how to eat the meat and spit out the bones and understand what your teachers are feeding you. Okay? So that's all I'm going to say. If you got to understand, if you was in the wilderness and somebody is following the moon, what would Christ say? You got to understand, what would Christ say? Right? Like, you got to... Nah, that's not the full spirit of it. It's like y'all be all over the place. Yeah, our Israelite brothers and all of this, but they quick to curse out a white person, but all white people ain't bad. That's not the full spirit of Christ. But Godspeed. Christ's going to fix it all. Anyway, that's not why we did this. So before we go into this lesson, I'm going to just talk about the Hebrew and Bible Academy just really quick. And I'm going to give quick world news before we go into, are we abandoning our temple? I had to bring this topic up about our temple that the Most High have given us. There's no third temple coming. We are the temple of the Most High God. The kingdom is in us, and it cometh not by observation. So it's people dying all of a sudden again from the 2020. It's a lot of death happening again. A lot of it. I don't know if you guys been seeing it out there. It's a lot of celebrities dying again. It's a lot of people passing again. All right. Shalom, Elder Dale. It's a lot of that going on. So, really quick, if you guys are new to our church or new to this channel is G.O.C.C Media. Our main channel is A Gathering 144, which airs on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. This channel airs on Tuesday, Thursday, and I think sometimes Fridays. Okay, so these are both of our channels. Make sure you subscribe to them. Hit the notification bell so you can always catch the lessons that are coming out, okay? All right, but before we go into are we abandoning our temples? Okay, I just want to speak about our Hebrew and Bible Academy that we have on Sundays, okay? So, obviously we're moving through it already, and you can start to subscribe to the next one. But I wanted to bring out some of the theme of it and some of the things that we teach on it. If you are new to the Bible, don't understand, you want to actually learn the Bible. And I have to put this out there, guys, for those of you who already knows, because if you think it's just you that's just watching this lesson, you're just sadly confused, because it's not. We always have new people who are coming in. You understand, people see me in public, they watch this channel, and they're like, hey, you're the guy who, it happens. Believe it or not, it does. So, I want to put this out there for them really quick so they can get up to speed of what's going on in the world, instead of having to dig through our treasure box of lessons that comes out on Saturdays, right? So this is a compiled, organized way to transition you, to get you up to speed of what's going on in the world. This academy's theme is Babylon, Rome to America. Modern day Babylonians, for example, East Indians, some people in Pakistan. Okay, these were the people of Nimrod, if your pastor didn't tell you. Okay, they are people of color. All right, Rome, the so-called red man that the Most High named red, who they call white today. These are the Romans. Even the people who are living in the land of Israel are Romans, and other tribes of Esau. Okay, to America. So you have the Babylon, Rome to America, and they're explaining all of the history from that time up until our present time, okay? The 12 brand new lessons are including the history of the Tower of Babel, the secret war of Edom against the Israelites. And what's funny? Sometimes I'm speaking to people just in the world. I was speaking to two Native Indians yesterday, and everyone knows something about the Bible to a certain degree, and they just start mixing it up and going all over the place, which I'm not saying that to blame them or condescend. What I'm saying is we came out with this so that people can actually truly understand what they're talking about, instead of ever learning and never coming to the knowledge of the truth. Knowing it all, but knowing nothing at all simultaneously. All right? So you have the history of the Tower of Babel, which is, started in Iraq. You can actually see the word translated from Erech when you go back into the Old Testament. Erech. And Iraq was actually translated from that. Okay? The secret war of Edom against the Israelites. The secret war of the white man against the so-called Negroes. That's what it will be modern day, but God didn't call us Negroes. he did not call them white people. He called them Edomites, which is our brother. Okay, we came out of the same mother and father. Okay, one was destined to get the promise, and one would try to go against him, being that he sold his birthright. Okay, I know you hear that story in the Christian church of how it happened, like Jacob, was the evil one and he stole something from Esau. No. That's just not true. Just come to this and you can actually understand how this thing actually happened, okay? I can't spend too much time on it right now. The desolation of abomination spoken about in the book of Daniel. How to calculate time according to the Bible so you're not following the moon, which is a woman angel. You can follow the sun, which is an angel of the Most High, which is a male spirit, okay? And we go through the book of Enoch, and you need to be taught how to go through some of these books so that you are not all over the place. Some people jump into the book of Jubilees, and then they don't understand anything about what they're reading of how to filter it through Christ. In the time that we were in the wilderness, where it was hard to actually stay clean, let me tell you, it was hard work when you were in a wilderness area. You need cleanliness laws. You need laws of rest, how hard it is to work in the wilderness. But that law did not apply, and it doesn't apply today when you just turning the stove on. You couldn't even carry a burden. So people just read that and they just go crazy. All right. Let's see here. So we got how to calculate time according to the Bible. We have, let's see, A Nest Above the Stars, Satan's space program. Speaking about NASA and having a space military that Trump was speaking about. How they are actually planning to war against Christ and his angels. And we're not talking about the blue-eyed Christ. No. Hey, nothing against white people, but Christ is not white with blue eyes. And we're not racist. Just because we're saying it doesn't make us racist. I hear this thing out there about Hulk Hogan and that he was racist and all that. Let me tell you something. It's nothing wrong with a white man not wanting his white daughter to marry a black man. If that's the way he felt as a grown man, grown men are not really worried about that or feeling, oh my goodness, I can't believe he said that he's racist. I mean, you have to be racist and love your own to some degree. I mean, you don't have to hate people and look down upon people. But I'm going to tell you the truth. I want my daughters to marry their own nation. And so do they. Because one, that's just the way the Most High made it. Okay, so if people have married through, you understand, continuation of time through colonialism and people's ignorance, you can't blame them for that either. Okay, no, we're not here to blame. But at the same time, I'm not going to wish anything bad on Hulk Hogan or people who dies, because guess what? I'm not cheering when my enemies die. I don't want anybody to die or get hurt. At the end of the day, it's the image of the Most High. Okay? I do want good to reign. I want equity and righteousness to reign. But if he didn't want his daughter to marry of what he calls the N-word, or he says a nigger, I mean, nigger just means black. Okay, so grown men stand on what they believe in, and Hulk Hogan is not bad. That doesn't mean he didn't. There's a lot of people who actually met him. He was a nice person, but to the same black people. But he has a choice to who his daughter can marry. What's wrong with that? So we focus on this racism thing too much. Now, anything else than that, I really don't care about it. You know. So the final battle of Armageddon that we actually see going on right now. So we can get you caught up to speed with this. Okay, and let me tell you, when you listen to this, you're gonna just be sitting here like, wow, it's gonna be so much information. You're gonna have to take another one, because you're gonna be like, wow, this is so much information coming out. You might get a headache. All of this information coming at you at one time. But if you can't, listen to the whole lesson on Sundays, it's recorded for you, okay? And you have notes to go along if it's moving too fast for you. And it's also entertaining. It's not just like, no offense, when we were in school, as black people, we see white people with a chalk getting on the board. So guys, today we're going to learn about... No. We can't learn like that. That's really not how black people learn. We got to force ourselves to learn in those environments. you're going to actually have a little fun and entertainment with people being themselves and their own personality and still getting straight to the point when it comes to this academy. It's not boring like some type of university professor. Okay? But it's still on that same level. Okay? So, come and be studious and get what you want. Covenant under fire, will your marriage stand? Very, very important, especially for our people to understand what marriage is and how important it is. Okay? So, we definitely will not ever stop teaching this part because we seem to lack loving one another as a nation. All right? So, you do learn in the 3 months Hebrew, okay, world news that we cannot show on here, okay, because our page is getting shadow banned. You understand this? It's not monetized and all that, so they just try to attack the page. So, and this also supports the work that we do in Christ to continue to wake up the lost sheep of the house of Israel and the Gentiles that will be called by His name. So this will support that, and it's an honorable work for our elders, okay, and our people and our brothers and sisters. And we appreciate all of you who have been supporting the work and getting better and just helping others get into it since we started it. We really appreciate that, and we could not do it without you, okay? So let's, without further ado, okay, we're just going to get a little world news just really quick. We have to keep people up to date of what's going on in the world. I do want to put this out there really quick. Just some up-to-date news. As we see here, fair use for educational purposes only. I'm sure you guys have been seeing this out there. There was a doctor who faced 35 years for giving saline instead of the COVID vaccine. He has now been fully acquitted. I just want to put that out there because let me see.
What are your thoughts about right now that you're seeing all this?
Just seeing people I haven't seen in years come over and stand with us and support. It's unbelievable.
So when you, this is why you did it, right? Because you love the people you that are here.
I did what was right. You know, I didn't have anybody in mind except for just doing what was right. So it wasn't for me, it wasn't for Elena, it wasn't for kids, it wasn't for anybody, it was just doing what's right.
Awesome. God bless. We're with you.
You know what this reminds me of? Sorry, I had my volume off. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of the midwives when Pharaoh was actually trying to, you understand, kill all of the firstborns in ancient Egypt. That they stepped up for their sisters and they were like, hey, we're not going to be doing this. So, believe it or not, this actually saved many people's lives. This actually saved many people's lives. Okay, you guys are probably catching up. I was muted, but we're back together. I just was muted really quick. I didn't want it, going over each other. Yeah, you guys can hear me now. Okay, I didn't want it distorting or anything. So this reminds me of the midwives in ancient Egypt, is what I was saying. So, it seems like the nation sometimes fights a little bit more harder and sacrifices a little bit more in the love of the image of the Most High. Now, obviously, most of them don't. But can we actually hate someone who will put their life on the line, regardless of what color? Huh? Can we actually hate that as Israelites? So sometimes, hey, of course we love our brothers. But a lot of our own brothers don't love us. And a lot of them, they hate their own, then they'll hate just, they forget this is a creation of the Most High. It's not all of the Gentiles' fault. Now, will they have to pay for some of these things to a certain degree? We have to pay for our forefathers' sins, of course. But, the Most High will decide when it comes to his law of righteousness. Okay? So, but this brother, let me tell you, this could have been your mama. This could have been your grandmama, your auntie, your uncle. He put saline in them, and then they still living today. Probably stressing, thinking like, oh my goodness, I took this. What's going to happen to me? Because anxiety of you doing something that you regret or kill you itself, and stress. Right? So I wanted to put that out there really quick. And like I said, if you did, since we're talking about our temple, if you did take these things, you need to do the research on what it takes, or watch our Patreon, subscribe to our Patreon to understand, some things that you can do to detox some of these metals, heavy metals out of your body, okay? All right? So, we talk about it a lot, you understand, on our Patreon. Alrighty, so I want to play this really quick as well. They got a guy who looked just like, fair use educational purposes only. They got a guy who looked just like Big Meech, Lil Meech, you understand. And I want y'all to understand when these things are going on, to not faint and get faint-hearted. Because guys, they use their little code words for their little false flags all the time. If you hear they killed 33 people, it was on floor 33. The time was 3:33 p.m. When you hear these things, you know you're dealing with a total false flag. One, those of you from New York, you can't just walk around with no guns, let alone a rifle. You know how it is in California, New York. You know that's not going down. If you don't have a business, you really can't just be walking around with no gun like that. It's very similar to the laws and the rules in Egypt and places over there. Very similar. So they found a guy who looked like Lil Meech, right, from BMF.
All lefties losing it. Nature is healing. Things are getting better day by day. Even as the demented Democrats call for Donald Trump to be impeached for a targeted strike against Iran's nuclear facilities, still the number of sane rational...
Hold up. That's not what I wanted. That's not even what I wanted. 1 second. That was the wrong link. Let me get it for you. Is it? Hold on, that might be the right link. Let me see something real quick. Hold up, that's not the right link. Let me get it for y'all. There we go. The Manhattan shooting. There we go. There you go. Fair use, educational purposes only.
Well, we see it again. And there's talk of more police officers. There's talk of, more omnipresence. And I definitely agree with much of what Paul and Nicole were saying.
There he goes. What did Christ say? When you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, didn't know that the desolation draweth nigh. This guy from Total California in Vegas somewhere, and here it is, he's walking through Manhattan with an army gun. Come on, guys. You can't. Since when? Nobody gonna jump on this dude? How did this even happen? How can this dude even get there? And not that anything's not possible, but come on, guys. In the video I watched earlier, they were talking about he went to floor number 33. There you go. They just gave away. These Masons just gave it away. And he just gave it away, talking about how they want to bring more armies on the streets. And I tell you, New York and California got some dangerous laws. Right? So if I'm staying there personally, I'm staying outside of the city. If I'm in that place. As much as I can.
We need to deputize ourselves. Sean, let's take you as an example. My understanding is you trained really hard in MMA. I'm guessing you train with your firearm as well. We each need to empower ourselves.
Now you need to empower yourselves. And guess who they put as a target? A black man. A black man. I mean, if you see this guy's picture, he looked just like Lil Meech. I'm going to tell you right now.
Be a victim. Bystander apathy is what occurred, is the term used as this gentleman walked, this Freeton walked with a long gun down the street. No one said anything. I'd be curious to see how many 911 calls were made. We need to empower ourselves, deputize ourselves. If you would have seen that person, I guess you would have acted a lot different, as would have I. These businesses that have security in the lobbies, there's a knee-jerk reaction. They may enhance it, but they do a cost-benefit analysis, and it'll go right back to the same. Only when we respect police officers, when respect is given back to the police officers, when we end this defund the police, when we end these sending in therapists or counselors, will people respect and, yes, be slightly afraid that I might get taken out before I do anything. We see this perpetrator, this...
So you need a stronger presence is what he's saying. You need a stronger militant presence. Because, you know, when you're militant, you're like a steroid head. You just over-aggressive for no reason. I remember I used to walk through Egypt. They used to be like that. They would just come. Let me tell you, they used to just come and try to grab my hand. You understand? Let me see your passport just because I was black. They used to do this. You know what I mean? And I can't tell what I used to do, but because you got to be wise. I would agree with him, but I say, man, get your hands off me. You ain't just gonna be grabbing on me like these Sudanis out here, brother. You know what I mean?
As well as criminals all over Manhattan, all over the country, not respecting the law, feeling they can do what they want. Only when we collectively push back, fight back, and act will this lessen and hopefully stop.
Yeah, it's sad. I do think people need situational awareness, and
you know what's funny? The news that I watched earlier, I mean, they were going against this black guy like they were. I mean, whoever was reporting it earlier, they were going against him like they had an issue with us. Like it sounded, and I don't get with the racist thing. Okay, here it is. I need to play this one. Fair use. I need to play this one. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna get to our show, but I need to play this really quick. You guys have to see this.
Breaking news now. President Trump has weighed in on the executions of New York City citizens and an NYPD officer at a Park Avenue corporate building at the end of the workday yesterday. The coward who did this.
Look at Esau. Coming out of there, great acting skills. I mean, all these guys deserve whatever award they need. This is straight false flag. I was just watching a little Big Meat show last night, and it's funny because it's crazy how they desensitize you. He had a similar weapon in the little show, and guess who he was going against in the show? The federales. You tell me they're not cooperating when they make some of these shows. It's really deep that he looked exactly, man, it's crazy. But listen how this woman just talks when it's a black man. You don't hear them talking like this when it's some white dude or some Arab.
Committed suicide at the scene, reportedly. The president's social post just today. I have been briefed on the tragic shooting that took place in Manhattan, a place that I know and love. I trust our law enforcement agencies to get to the bottom of why this crazed lunatic committed such a senseless act of violence. My heart is with the families of 4 people who were killed, including an NYPD officer who made the ultimate sacrifice. God bless the New York Police Department, and God bless New York. I'm Harris Faulkner. You are in the Faulkner Focus. 4 people murdered, including police officer did a rule.
Whoa, this is a sister? I'm thinking this is a straight Edomite woman. So they got a whole sister talking this way as usual. So they can get more people to support what they're talking about. Lord have mercy.
Islam. 36 years old, served on the force for just 4 years, and he leaves behind 2 young children, and his wife is pregnant with their 3rd child. The investment firm Blackstone is in that building, and one of the executives was killed, Wesley LePatner. Surveillance footage here shows the man police have identified as 27-year-old Shane Tamura walking toward that Park Avenue high-rise carrying heavy weaponry. Here is NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch.
The building's security camera footage shows the shooter enter the lobby, turn right, and immediately open fire on an NYPD officer. He then shoots a woman who took cover behind a pillar, where he shoots a security guard who was taking cover behind the security desk. The shooter then calls the elevator, which opens in the lobby. A female exits that elevator, and he allows her to walk past him unharmed. He goes up to the 33rd floor, which is route and management, and begins to walk the floor, firing rounds as he traveled. One person was struck.
Pay attention. On the 33rd floor, 33-degree masonry, and this is how they roll and how they speak to each other worldwide to bring in the mark of the beast. When you hear these numbers, 13, 33, 6, Trump, he invested into 666,000. This is what they're dealing with. The big beautiful bill, BBB 666. This is how they deal, guys. All right, that's why the Most High had to say, he that understands his number in Revelations is the number of a man, 666. Because they're not going to just spell it out for you. You have to be able to see with your spiritual eyes.
On that floor.
Employees inside their offices
look how
had
convenient.
stacked furniture and anything they could to find doorways against doorways on the 33rd floor, barricading themselves from the killer. The building is located in the heart of Manhattan on the famous Park Avenue. And it's home to high-profile corporations, Blackstone, as I just mentioned, the NFL headquarters as well. Witnesses say they are shocked.
Oh, they're so shocked.
What kind of system for a piece that allowed this to happen and the art of...
Now, I want you to listen to the artificial intelligent person. This is not a real person. When you hear artificial intelligence, you always can hear the synthetic voice in the background. Now this is scary because they're going to be using, they can use your face and your voice anytime they want to. They can put anybody up there now. I want you to listen to this fake person who they're interviewing right now. I want you to check it out. You can hear the voice switch very quickly. All right? Trust me when I say that. I'm going to go back to the other person's voice, and this is straight artificial intelligence, guys. Here they come. They had this old show called, what was it called? It was a pre-crime type of show. What was that show called? With the guy who played on Lost. I forget the name of the show, but hey, listen.
The NFL headquarters as well. Witnesses say they are shocked.
What kind of system for it?
Straight AI as soon as it comes on. You can hear it as soon as it comes on. This is not a real person, guys. This is AI. No, it ain't no paid actor. Oh, okay. Yeah, by AI. There you go. There you go. That's it.
That allowed this to happen and the art of the heist. You know, like it should never happen in the first place.
I just feel less safe. You feel it, you know. I don't know. Like I used to feel a lot safer, more comfortable, just being in the area, being in the neighborhood, and
all they need to do, and I believe this is AI too. But all they need to do is put in a few real people, start sliding in that AI to see if they're getting away with it. Oh boy, And they probably been doing this for a long time. Y'all hear his voice glitching?
I don't anymore, honestly. Yeah, they don't.
Straight robot voice, people. Here we are. Here we are.
Back in for the very latest on the investigation and what we know about that man with that weaponry. Alexis McAdams reporting now. Alexis.
Hi, Harris. Yeah, a chaotic night for so many people.
All right. I can't go through the whole thing because we've already... right? This is what we have going on, man. Over and over and over. Right? And they'll let these Arabs over here just run loose. They'll let these Arabs and these East Indians come over here with this Allahu Akbar crap. Allahu Akbar. Mm-hmm.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Going to bomb the plane! Dead to America! Dead to Trump! Allahu Akbar!
Look how weak. You talk about a nation full of crash dummies. No, I'm not talking about the Minority Report. It was an actual show. I'll find it. Look how weak. They talk all that crap. Ah, poop. And they need 30 of these cats just to take down one person. They yell. It's like they born just to yell Allahu Akbar and just explode and that's it.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
Sit your whack butt down, dude. Get out. Get your behind down.
Oh my God. Sit down. Don't move.
You Mark.
Allah.
Listen. Like, dude, take that somewhere else. We can't come to your country and even talk about politics. They need to slam his behind down somewhere. You mean to tell me some Arabs took down a plane on 9/11 with some box cutters? Please. Let me tell you, even Edom wouldn't let that go down. Period. We'll take a few slices. Let me tell you, take some of them suitcases out. We finna get to work. Huh? You mean to tell me old Osama bin Laden, who was on insulin and who had health issues, huh? That he took down the plane with his homies, huh? Come on, man. Anyway, let's get to our lesson, man. Oh boy, let's get to our lesson. I want to talk about let me see here. Proverbs 4:20. Let's go there really quick. Let me get it. Let me open my Bible really quick if y'all don't mind. Let's see here. What did I tell y'all again? I forgot. Let me get it. I know it was in Proverbs. I done forgot already. But I say Proverbs 4:20. What did I say? Proverbs 4:20. Let's get it. So we want to just really quick. We're not going to take too long. We want to talk about abandoning our temple because since 2020, we've seen a lot of death. We've always seen a lot of death, but it seems that when life was more simpler in the older days, just eating the simple diet that we were, and obviously was less chemicals. They were always trying to attack us, always. But we seem to depend on what we had because that's all we had, right? And it's the overeating of processed foods, and it's just the working like a slave, and really everything that we're going through in these curses in Deuteronomy 28 that it's almost like we're just giving up. And I'm hearing this not just in our church, but like personal people. People are like, man. And you know what they're really lacking? They're lacking the consistency and the diligence that they had to do evil. The consistency that we had to do evil. We did evil every day. We ate bad every day. We drank soda. We ate candy. We ate pork. Let me tell you, we did this every day. And we expect something to change quickly from doing something sometimes. I took this, it didn't work. You only did it for 7 days. A lot of things will not change in a minimum of 30 days with some things. I'll give you an example. MSM, for example. Right? Now, the TV show, that's not what I'm talking about. If y'all talking about altered carbon, that's not what I'm talking about. If y'all talking about something else, probably. But, it's on the tip of my tongue. It'll come to me. But anyway, yeah, we're not consistent enough with good. That's why Christ had to say, "He that endured to the end, the same shall be saved." It wasn't going to be comfortable. Our whole life, he had been giving us grace to prolong us to this time. He's the one who preserved us. He preserved our people in Egypt when Pharaoh was trying to kill us, even in like the forest areas. Fed the babies milk and honey from a rock when you read in the book of Jasher. He did that. He, when we were in the wilderness, preserved our shoes. There you go, person of interest. There you go, Tamara. It's person of interest. There you go. It's a great show for you to watch, guys. I'm going to have to rewatch it, actually. I watched it years ago. But anyway, he preserved us in the wilderness with our shoes, everything that we needed, and all that. And I'm going to tell you how deep it is and how exact the Most High is. We left Egypt. Obviously, we were going to need food. But we were really going through a detox. Right? From us being like sheep. If you consider it like a sheep. We were really going through a whole fast and a detox from whatever unhealthy crap that we probably was consuming in Egypt. Not that we didn't eat healthy, but we had to be purged. We had to be baptized going through that sea. Right? Our whole systems had to be purged. Our whole spirit had to be purged walking through that water. And then the Most High, it's like he restarted our systems. Right? So we're going to talk about how exact he is when we go forward into the lesson. So once again, as we start off, let's keep this in mind. As we talk about some of these things, we have to endure more. Endurance, endure to the end. And we can't expect just change overnight. And we talk about these things a lot. And it seems like we have to keep reminding the people. Obviously, there's going to be new people coming in, but we have to be reminding ourselves, our families, our children, and each other about what we're talking about. Because you can't endure to the end if you're not alive. We've taken vaccines before. Women don't even know before you have a baby. We were not taught that the woman passes on certain diseases to the baby. This is a fact. This is total science, not the man. The man don't do it. So we actually studied this and found this out, that the woman actually passes parasites, gut issues, and all this to the baby. And they said the man didn't do it. I think I showed that not too long ago. Okay, so, and I'm just giving you an example. It's a side note. Sisters, before you have a baby, get your gut health in order. Serious note. And they say that for humans or animals. Get your gut. Give yourself 6 months to a year to really get your gut on point. Because whatever you're dealing with is going to pass to that child. It's not just about vaccines. Understand what I'm saying? This is probably have not been taught to you, but when you research what I'm talking about, you're going to say, oh yeah, my elder knows what he's talking about. I'm not going to say something I don't know. This is not a rumor or an opinion. This is a fact. Which goes all the way back to the garden of the sin came from all the women. I'm not saying that to blame the woman, but the Most High, he was correct in everything of what he said. That the woman would go through it when it came to childbearing. It's a whole nother level. All right? So as we go forth in this lesson, understand that we're going to have to be consistent in the good, in the things that are going to help us. This for the same amount of time that we were for the things we ate, for the things we did and all of that. Okay? My son, Proverbs, we're at Proverbs 4:20. My son, attend to my words, incline thine ear to my sayings. Don't be hard-headed and not listen. Okay? Let them not depart from thine eyes. Meaning stay focused and study this word and understand. And if you truly understand it, start doing some of the things that our forefathers used to do to a certain degree that you can. Garden. Get out on the homestead. Experience some of the things that Christ was saying. Why did Christ say this about the fig tree? Start planting your fig tree to see why he said it. You will understand it. Understand everything of why he was saying it. It was to teach us. Okay? Let's continue. Keep them in the midst of thine heart, meaning in the midst of your mind. Okay? And keep it in your mind. Don't let them depart from your eyes, meaning constantly study them, so that you don't lean on your own understanding. When you're in your emotions or frustrated, those words are not pouring in your mind because you're not constantly remembering them, because the mind is what evil and good is. And it also is where situations arise where anxiety and stress tries to come, which if you don't have these words to keep you motivated, encouraged, you will start to lean on your stress, believing that you're stressed, believing that you should be stressed, believing that you are sick, believing that you are weak, believing that things will never get better. These words, you need to read a little something every day. That's why we come out with the lessons all week to feed the sheep. Okay? You got to get, when you have physical sheep, they have to have green pasture with quality grass. It can't just be some lessons and they all over the place. And the people are not growing and being fruitful. If I have sheep and they're not being fruitful, what's the point of me having the sheep if they're not being fruitful? That means I'm not a good shepherd. If I'm blocking people out from the kingdom of heaven because I'm racist and I hate people, I was at Christ. So that's why you never hear the elders really caring about other Israelite groups like that. We don't have anything against them, but whoever goes against getting baptized, whoever goes against what the scripture says, you understand, when it comes to doctrine, when it comes to not welcoming in people that he said they should be welcomed in. We can't focus on something that's outside of the Bible. Okay? And we do pray that they one day come to the understanding. But until then, let them be men and let them do what they do. We do what we do. See? For they, verse 22 says, for they are life unto those that find them. They're life. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So if you read the scriptures, you're going to understand how to live on every level. Period. And the level you don't know, because it doesn't have to go into details with everything. You're supposed to be led to study those things. To go through trial and error with those things so you can become better. Okay? When you go in the garden, you're not going to just become a great husbandman overnight. You're going to see the curses that Adam and Eve have went through and why the ground don't produce a certain way until you learn how to get it to do that. On top of everything when it comes to the earth's elements. And when I say that, I'm talking about the attack on the earth to prevent us from actually growing food successfully. You understand what I'm saying? So you will learn every level of fitness, health, mindset, to not give up and not be able to endure. Like many people who's abandoning their temples. Lord, when people say, I just want to go, I'm tired. They're giving people this stuff in 2020, this shot and all that. And some people want to give up and die, and some people, they just living through the pain. The scripture says some people are going to want to die and they can't die. I'm talking about, I seen a black sister one day talking about how she was just dealing with all of this pain, and it was from taking that stuff in 2020. And she was just living through it, and she was just like, man, I don't want to be going through this stuff. I've seen Deion Sanders talking about he might have to do a will, right? Because he's going through some type of sickness. Now, I don't follow him too much. I see him on there sometime. He seems to be a pretty positive man. He's spoken about God, but I've seen him in a dress. I've seen him do some things contrary to the Lord. I'm not judging him, but I've also seen him promote. One second. All money ain't good money. Look, just because he had his toes amputated after 2020. I think it was in 2021. I'm just going through some of this stuff. Look. I'm happy that Deion Sanders overcame a battle with cancer. Right? Deion Sanders loses two toes because of blank, blank, blank. And he had something else taken out. And he's still pushing it. It says, and I don't deal with the AI stuff, but it just says briefly, as Sanders confirmed he had been vaccinated quite a long time ago, he had also encouraged others to get vaccinated, emphasizing that the vaccine helps preserve life. Now, that's just AI, but of course, when you're reading these articles, you can see it for yourself. Jackson State head coach Deion Sanders promotes, this is SI.com, promotes blank vaccine. We want to preserve life. Right? And I'm not just on here tonight to talk about that, but I'm showing you how we are voluntarily and involuntarily abandoning our temple, abandoning the ways of the Most High. Now, a lot of those ways were lost, but we let Esau come in like a wolf in sheep clothing and deceive us from the ways back in the day that, hey, for example, when you read the extra biblical text, Noah was praying to the Most High God for the herbs to heal his sons from demons, from parasites. He was praying for that. And the Most High gave him the herbs to heal his children. All right? So let's go back to this. For their life unto those that find them, and health to all their flesh. Keep your mind with all diligence. Keep your mind consistent. Be diligent. You have to continue this. It's right here in front of us. You can't be sometiming with this, he's saying. You got to keep your mind with all diligence. The Holy Spirit is a spirit of discipline when it talks about it in the Wisdom of Solomon. She's a spirit of discipline. Obesity, gluttony should not exist in our people. When we have a clean Levitical diet to help us get it through. And guess what? Yes, some people have fallen for it, made mistakes. Some people have gotten injured, all type of stuff. It's not one size fits all. And then some people will hate you for speaking the truth. Every time you mention obesity, somebody thinks you're a bad person. And they'll find something bad about you for exposing the truth. No, you are evil. That may be somebody a demon speaking through you because you don't want to face the truth. Nobody said you're a bad person. I'm telling you how God made his creation and how we can do better and be better. There's nothing bad about that. It's not. I personally am not telling anybody to do it on my time. I'm telling you how to endure through the end the best that you can. And some people are doing certain things, for example, to try to lose weight, and then they have thyroid issues. And that's why we came out with the Lugos iodine. And I'm going to just leave it there. I can't go into it on here. And that's why I promoted the book, The Iodine Crisis. Right? You have to be diligent with your studies. You have to be the same diligence we had when we were doing evil, eating evil things, eating unclean things. We need to have the same diligence to heal them. And it's like, that's why some of us don't get miracles, because we're lacking diligence already. How can I heal you but you lack diligence? That means you'll go back to the same stuff, and that's why you'll take something for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, and then you stop. You were doing good. Your discipline was up. Your encouragement was up. You were exhorted to do these things. You were excited. But when you go back and forth to bad diets, bad habits, bad company, expect to go right back into the same situation. I don't know what's going on with me. And then I'm asking, are you still doing the same things you know you're not supposed to be doing? If you sin, you're going to get punished by the Most High. If you eat the wrong things, the parasites is going to grow in you. The parasite's job is to eat living organisms that are diseased. So they've made it a diseased environment so that parasites and the worms, which are supposed to eat your body when you die, so that your body your flesh is gone and it's just bones. The worms are there to eat that. When you garden, those of you who are husbandmen understand this. The plants that are sickly and have disease is what the pests come to. Period. So when Esau's throwing the balance and stuff off through all creation, no wonder there's disease and things everywhere. Where you got to plant one plant that the pests may, not like to eat the plant you want fruit from. You got to like mix and match. When it comes to horticulture, excuse me. Right? You have to like companion plant. You understand? You have to do different types of gardening where you mix and match just so pests don't deal with this certain type of plant. And guess what? That gut is just the same way as the soil. Same probiotics or microorganisms is why when the Most High said, I made you from the earth. We have the same probiotics. Now, a lot of us don't have enough or certain types because we're eating processed foods too much. You're eating processed food so much your gut don't have time to replenish that. You don't eat any probiotics. You eat everything else right. Well, I've been eating my vegetables. That's not probiotics. And then you'll have people out there saying, you don't need more probiotics. You need fiber. You do need fiber. You do need vegetables. Right? But let me tell you, what I'm noticing is that people are eating everything but probiotics. And I get it. They're sour, But guess what the daily bread was? It was sourdough. There was no packed yeast. Not that it's bad to eat that. It's still lawful. There was no instant yeast, guys. There was something that was pre-digested that we would bake every single day that's called daily bread. And I'm not saying it like I have it all right. I'm saying it because what I'm seeing is even though as we learn, we grow, and we teach people, we still have a lot of people making excuses and not seeing progress and stagnant. So I'm here just to help you. I'm not here to put you down and put myself up. I'm here as a reminder and just as a voice and as a messenger. Like, hey, you might have forgot this. Let's do it right. Yes, the message may come out hard. It has to come out hard to the weak because the weak will perish through demons. See, the weak is why the message sometimes has to come out hard because they will perish. Those of you who can get it and got it, it's that hardness is not for you. It's for those who are getting ready to be taken captive totally by demons. Because when a lion is out on the prowl, just so happens in the Testament of Solomon, there's a spirit or a demon that's a lion. He's seeking to whom he may devour, but he's going for the weak first. When you see lions on the prowl, they're going for the weak, the sick first. They're going for all of that first. And guess what part of the meat they're going to eat? they're going for the organs first. They're going for the gut first. And then they leave the rest of the carcass and the meat to the other hyenas or whatever stragglers that just come around. That's just the truth. Let me tell you, the whole earth understands how important that gut is. Right? So, hey, keep your heart or your mind with all diligence. Don't try to do any of this stuff and ask God for a miracle like Christ was going around healing people. He said, your faith hath healed you. Your faith means you are going to change your ways and be diligent about it. Not that you weren't going to make mistakes and fall, but if you have a strong mind, you're like, you know what, that was wrong. Let me pick myself back up. But if you just accept defeat, you will get defeated. Yeah, and we're going to talk about the bitter herbs Weekenders line. Right? For out of it are the issues of life. Out of the mind are the issues of life. How you think is what will be issued out to the rest of your body. If you're stressed out, it goes to your gut, your brain and your gut. They call it both of them brains, the two brains. If you're stressed out, you don't want to eat. That's the issues of life. You just said, you just told yourself, I don't want to eat, so you're stressed out. They're both together. These emotions, which is why I told sisters, you got to get your gut health together, because sometimes you're angry at your husband or yourself or whoever, and you don't even know the bipolar and all that. That's a demon. It's dealing with because they done threw your hormones off with certain medications, without teaching us that we need to have certain foods with iodine, that now you can't get the iodine out of it because the foods is too weak. You can't. It's not in the ground anymore. Not in the way they form. Oh, well, we can get it out the sea. No, you can't. You can't get it out the dirty sea. There's too much mercury in there. So that's why we started selling one that comes directly from the earth. Okay? We had to do that in high dense dosages, because even though I was selling the iodine that comes out of the sea through sea moss, through spirulina and all of that, it was still not helping enough. Which showed that people need way more than they thought. Or when they ate the bread with the bromide and the halogens in that bread, it would take the iodine away from your body. Check that out. Right? Or when you ate broccoli or cruciferous vegetables, they would take it from your body. So I'm like, you know what? Boom. I didn't plan on selling. I'm like, I got to do this. I don't need people stressing all over the place. They just take this. They don't need to be stressing about eating too much kale or too much broccoli, all this stuff. Listen. And now people ain't having no issues. People are getting healed. See? And if you follow my little fitness channel, you'll see me sometime coming to my stories telling you how important it is for men to rub it on their prostate areas. I mean, hey, we're adults. Every night, you can put a little drop, a little coconut oil, whatever stuff you use. I don't use lotion. I use things natural. You can have little injuries, whatever the case may be. You can rub it around your heart. You can rub it on your thyroid every night, your belly button. And women, where they say you always have cancer and lumps. Okay? Yeah. You can rub it there. You can rub it on your secret parts, your womb. Because there's uterine fibroids. There's things and all type of things that they hit you with the woman pads, with the diapers when you're a child, all that. You can rub this every night, and so many people are going to get results and are getting results from it. Where the doctor tells you, oh, you know, we're going to need this and we're going to need that. Well, how about that? How about that lump might be gone in a week or two? And if you got a huge one, yeah, it might take a little longer if it's huge. But guess what? It's keep your mind with all diligence. And even if nothing's wrong, if you want to be like, you know what? I'm trying to keep myself from the doctor, so I'm not paying all of this money when they're taking away health insurance, Social Security, food stamps, and all this stuff from our people. Guess what? It's time to be diligent in preventative methods. That's why I just gave you the game. I just gave you the game. No matter black, white, blue, whatever you are, guess what? I just gave you something that I can't even go too deep into right now. But I can tell you, if you have diligence with that, and if you want to take it to another level, hey, they got something called DMSO that bring anything into your skin. Just make sure you don't got no chemicals on your hand. right? I take that DMSO, that sulfur with that iodine, and guess what? Every single night. And obviously, I take it internally. Can't tell you what to do. For those who have ears, let them hear. But so it's not the only thing about taking it internally that I do. I rub it on my skin and whatever the case may be. Because men are coming up with prostate issues, testosterone issues, hair missing issues, all that because of hormone issues, especially sisters. And there's some things I can't even talk about on here at all, ever. Which is why there's a Rumble or a Patreon. Okay? But you're going to have to be diligent. That's why I wanted to go through that scripture before I got some of these links I have here. You're going to have to be diligent. You can't abandon your temple through your lack of faith, through your laziness, through your slothfulness, through your emotions because somebody's telling you and hitting the truth button and you want to turn the truth button off. But the truth button is stuck. You know how you got a button that's stuck and you can't turn it off? The truth button is stuck. You will find a way to not speak to this person, hide from this person, because guess what? Hey, you want to deal like that. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. I'm not here to put no icing on anything. Okay? If you can eat your cake without icing, it's all good. But if you need icing on it, it's the wrong show for you, baby. If you can, and you know, if you can bake real good, you know that cinnamon roll tastes good without icing before the icing even go on it. And I'm gonna eat it with icing, but I'm saying. So, for those who have ears, let them hear. Let me get this really quick. I wanted to see if they had a video of this really quick. What? Watch this. Let me see if I can get this. Let me see. Here we go. Let me see if this is it here. I don't know if that's it. We were looking at something the other day. And pretty shocking that I didn't personally know about this because I'm not wearing weave. But come to find out, they took, I don't know if you guys seen this, but they took a big worm out of a sister's hair from wearing weave. They took a big worm out of a sister's hair from wearing weave. And let me tell you, I was shocked. So let me tell you, you sisters can do what you got to do, but when you're getting weave from dead people, dead people's hair from the sewers, hair you don't know where it's coming from, being worshipped to whatever gods, you just have to understand that. I'm seeing if I can still find it, but I don't know if I can find it. You just have to understand, like, listen, this lady had a whole parasite in her hair. And once again, you're probably wondering how. Well, let me tell you something. Once again, when you have something unclean in your body, something malfunctioning, metals or whatever the case may be, and nobody probably, it's their intentions to have it because it happened to all of us. But if you're purposely doing something that you know you could do better, hey, once again, it's formaldehyde and a lot of lashes. With the stuff they put on to put the lashes. Formaldehyde. And I'm not saying all of them. I am not here to say stamp anything all. But you notice how a lot of men's lashes is longer than women's. Because they just leave them alone. That don't make sense how men's lashes is longer than a lot of women's. Because they just leaving them alone. But I seen a weave worm about this long come out of a sister's hair where they had to carve her brain open and take a whole, it was a worm. And that could have went to her brain from weave. Is it, man. Oh no, this one wasn't fungus. This one was a actual worm. The worm was almost 12 inches long, if not 12 inches. Almost 12 inches long, curved around. It had took a part of her skin. And don't forget, those worms are going to come and eat the chemicals. That's what their job is to do. There's candida in the body at healthy levels. But when you eat too much sugar, it becomes unhealthy because candida eats heavy metals too. So worms have purposes, guys, to break things down. When your body dies, the worms are already there to break it down. Okay, just how you got angels for good, you got angels for destruction. All right, and you can't. We'll talk about this on another lesson, but you can't over parasite cleanse too much. It will just take your gut away. We'll do a whole nother lesson on how to actually do it. You have to space it out, guys. Or you just be killing off your gut microbiome and your microorganisms just too much. And I'm going to teach you how the Most High did it as we go forth. I get it, you know, it's so much information about it where people just every single day, oh my goodness. And you actually worrying about this stuff every day. It's time to just start eating healthy and get God's diet inside of your system so you're not every day stressing about just how to kill parasites every day. Okay? So let's talk about inactivity. Let's talk about inactivity really quick. For the slothful, or those who think they can just walk and walking is good at them. There's nothing wrong with walking at all. It's great for your brain. But if you want to be that person who lives longer and outlives people, you need to build skeletal muscle. I keep telling you guys the same thing. Your insulin receptors are in your quadriceps. Training your quadriceps and your glutes will make you outlive a lot of people. It's already been proven. I'm just telling you the truth. The stronger your legs are, and just overall, especially when you're over 30, eating a higher protein diet, knowing that you lose more protein after your 30s, you start losing your testosterone. It's harder to build muscle. You can build muscle, but what I'm saying is your strength, everything is not the same. So you need more protein. You start to lose it. That's why flab and stuff comes. And a lot of you women don't understand, you're not going to be fine forever if you're not working out. You're going to start getting cellulite, varicose veins because you lack copper, which can make you more anemic. These things are important. You want to get rid of those varicose veins? Hey, it's doctors out there telling you got to get your copper levels up. Remember they used to have copper pipes and everything? Remember that? These people have done a number on our people. You have to cure that muscle and make it look like something before all the little fat in there where the worms hide inside of the fat. The worms hide inside of the fat because you don't even need all of that fat. You're just giving them some cushion. You're like, yeah, I'm chilling up in this thing. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And when your husband start to be like, hey, you ain't, And some husbands are so sweet, but some husbands, you can't blame them if they say, listen, this is not how I got you. With all due respect, I'm for the process though. But, a man is a man. Give him, you love each other to death do us part and through all the thick and the thin. But we shouldn't just give up on each other. Don't forget, this is a temple of the Most High. When Solomon was building the physical temple, man, that thing was laid. It say Solomon was drinking. He said he used silver just as common like rocks, like stones. He said he drank out of straight gold. He said he didn't drink out of no silver. Let me tell you, and you know how much it costs to have a gold cup, because I own silver cups. That's what I drink in on the Sabbath, silver dishes. Right? And I'm not rich. I'm just saying that Solomon, if he was building a temple, the Most High's temple in this house, go back and read. It was laid. This is our spiritual temple, and we're Israelite. We claim to be Israelites. Now we may not have all the money in the world, but we can accept, and we can be grateful for food, shelter, and raiment that is clean. Because guess what? You're gonna realize tonight that it's getting worse and worse. Yeah, you know how much a golden cup costs. You already know how much a golden ring costs. Good Lord. But let's get it.
Problem is simpler.
Fair use for educational purposes only.
Actually need to start thinking about physical inactivity as a disease. We now know.
She said we need to think about physical inactivity as a disease. You eating all the right vegetables. You eating all the right diet. But because you're not heating your blood up, blood ain't pumping, you got your nerves, your arteries, everything getting clogged. Most people ain't eating probiotics, so they're not getting vitamin K2. Everybody's getting sunlight. They can use a little more. So that's why one of the top supplements that I learned from he was a rich guy over there in Europe. And he said, listen, I'm going to tell you these 2 supplements to take. Okay, one of them is this, and one of them was vitamin D3 plus K2. And I said, when I start my company, I'm going to sell that, because I realized most black people didn't even know about it. And then further studies showed that you couldn't get K2 unless you ate fermented foods. I'm not talking about fermented foods from the store either. I'm talking about stuff that you make at home. You will not get the K2 unless you're getting grass-fed cows, which is very expensive for people to get. Okay? And so the least you can do, make you some sauerkraut at home, make you some yogurt, some kefir, right? That's why I say, I got to start selling these kefir grains. So I've been shipping them off. Website should be up soon. It's almost done, but I still been just not waiting and shipping them off, knowing how people gut health is like. And I'm not going to make no money off of this, to be quite honest. But I ship it off and get it to our people. You need K2 to put the vitamin D3 in there. You need magnesium, the #1 supplement people are not taking, to balance off the vitamin D. I take vitamin D and magnesium together so they balance each other off. And then you need the K2. A lot of people are eating everything right, but not exercising. They're inactive. Vegans. Hey, guess what? Vegans. You notice the vegans, there's nothing wrong with being a vegan, but they never can get the 3D thick muscle. It's a reason for that, because they lack a lot of proteins. They're getting little lighter proteins from food. And there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what they choose to do and choose to be, I'm not against that. But don't think you're finna come up in here and wrestle with a 225 pound plus man unless you Bruce Lee fit, strong. I'm just telling you the truth. But you're gonna have to train every day for that. Okay? When you're a little older, over 30, that protein is important. I'm going to tell you right now. Inactivity. Most High had us doing all types of things in the land of Israel, where it all took some type of physical activity, knowing that we want to build muscle. Your forearm's going to be strong just from carrying things all day. Your neck going to be strong from carrying things on your neck. You're getting strong all day back then. Now they got everybody working in offices. They lacking vitamin D. People are coming out with cancer. We're not the same type of people. And then you have people trying to follow the law, being overboard, not knowing that they have no clue of how to plant food and how every fruit tree is planted on a grafted tree, on a graft stock tree. Period. That's not the same tree from the land of Israel, people. So you broke the law right there if you want to tell somebody, oh, I eat all fruits and vegetables. Yeah, all of your fruit trees are grafted. Because it's going to take your tree from a seed. Try it. If you get a apple, okay, I had to learn this. If you get an apple, you can plant each of those seeds. You're going to have a different tree from each of the apples. From each of those seeds. And it's going to take it, okay? It's going to take it about 10 years to 15 years to actually grow. And then the fruit that comes out is probably not going to be the same fruit that you're used to today. I'm just telling you the truth. Let me tell you the truth. You're not talking to a novice. They do that because Esau done messed the whole earth up, and they got to graft stuff in all over the places because disease is everywhere. You can't have the same citrus tree in one state that you have in the other place. You talking about the grace of Christ. You better understand your grace, or you wouldn't even be eating no orange today. And all watermelons that are seedless, even though I prefer the ones that are seeded, you got a bunch of vegans out there who can't get seeded year round, so they're eating the ones without seeds, and they're not genetically modified. That's just the truth to tell you. People who grow watermelons will tell you it's a certain way to make a seedless watermelon. It's not GMO. It has the same nutrition, but the ones with the seeds are better because they have protein and different types of vitamins inside of those seeds that are very healthy and good for you. So when you hear people just trying to follow the law so much, they just get stagnant and stuck in their mind, and they have no clue. The clothes you wear can keep you from being chafed when you're outside working in the sun because you wearing polyester, which is plastic. I'm not trying to beat nobody down. I'm appreciating the grace that Christ did, and I'm knowing this is going to be a war no matter how good, no matter how much money I have. It's going to be something I'm going to fail at, but I have to endure through it to finish off. It's going to be a war because of my forefather's sins, not because of Esau. My forefather's sins caused Esau to do what he's doing. They're just telling you. You get chafed as a man. Your legs get bigger from bodybuilding. You know, you got to understand, okay, what type of cloth did my forefathers wear? Linen or cotton? It all makes sense when it comes to the bacteria fighting properties in linen and cotton. Okay? It makes sense because the polyester blends. Now you're dealing with sweat and heat bumps. Man, let me tell you, you talking about being law keepers. We were blessed. Even if we were not rich, we were still blessed to have the basic healthy things of life to keep us on point. We had a little bad water sometimes. Okay, you mix a little probiotic wine in there, but it was not about the alcohol content in drinks in the past. So that alcohol content, if it was very high, was to give to a man if he needed to go through some type of surgery or if he needed to go through death. You overdrink that, in time you get the diabetes stomach. You do. Because it messes up your insulin levels over time and how you register your sugar, because the insulin is like your meter. And then it catches up with you. Your foot start getting numb, you're drinking too much, you got the little shiny face. All of this happens. I be seeing this go through the same thing, and brothers, I can toss them down. You can toss them down, but it's going to toss you down after a while. See, I drink for the probiotic buzz, not for alcohol. Alcohol takes a man's testosterone. I've been lifting weight for years. So when you hear this stuff, it's the most horrible feeling when you can lift and you're strong and you get in there and you done drunk a little bit and you can lift 315. Let me tell you, that will go down to 285 from drinking alcohol over the weekend. If you're an experienced lifter, you know what I'm talking about. And it pisses you off because your nerves is bad. I mean, I got on the bench the other day just from drinking a little bit of vodka. I'm on the bench now shaking. I'm like, why am I dehydrated? Too much caffeine, too much alcohol dehydrates you. We have to learn this temple because whether it's our intentions or not, we are abandoning it. Excuse me. Okay? I'm not trying to be a know-it-all. I'm trying to tell you guys, whatever's going on with you, you need to check it. People dying out here every day. Let me tell you, people's loved ones is dying every day, man. I'm going to tell you right now. People thinking they're going to see this person, you understand, the next day. And the Most High got a time for these people. And you don't want to take away from that time not being healthy. How are you going to be there for your husband, your wife, your children? You made a lot of money, but you can't spend the money no more. Don't take your health for granted, guys. Let's get a little bit more active. If you tell your body, like we just read earlier, I think it was in Proverbs, right? It says, keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. So what you tell it will happen. The same thing the Most High created the heavens and earth with the spirit of water, which is a part of life. He created it with those waters. That's where most of the water is. It's in the brain. So what you think, out of it flows the issues of life. Whatever you think is what you will become. Whatever you think is what you will become. So, and whatever you don't use, you will lose. And I know that, let me tell you, you don't stretch, you don't move, you don't open those hips up. Man, I didn't care about opening those hips up before. I care about throwing weight around. Until you get past 30. Till you get past 35. You like, hold up, I need to get a little bit more flexible, start opening up, understanding what hip health is all about. Hip health prolongs life too. You like, Lord have mercy. All of this stuff I got to learn and know. I got to share this with the people. If you're not jumping, you're going to be weak. We played that a few lessons ago. Getting off your feet, jumping. A little bit every day, doing something. Whether it's jogging, whether it's a little jumping jacks, whether it's a little something. If you're older, just like I'm sitting in a chair, you could squat right in the chair. You could take you a little weight, little by little, and start building those legs up, little by little. You don't have to have a gym membership if you can't afford it. It's all about keep your mind of your heart with all diligence. Elder, I've been doing squats twice a week. I feel more amazing. Guess what? You're building gut health, ab health, all that. You're strengthening your abs and your core. Okay? And now you're like, I don't feel pain no more because you're lubricating this thing. Just like a car. It's like a car need oil. You see what I'm saying? Just like it need radiator fluid or water. It's very similar to us. These vehicles or these bodies that we have that our spirits are resting in, they need what they need to operate. Your joints are hurting. Oh, not getting enough fats. Hey, I'm not getting the proteins or the collagen. You got you some bone broth at home? If you don't got you no bone broth, bam, you get you some collagen powder, whatever the case may be. You need all of these things. I know it's a lot to keep up with, but it was very much in our basic diet. Okay? Very much in our basic diet. And homesteading is not the easiest thing. It's not the easiest thing. It's a lot that our people are going to have to learn. So I suggest you guys get up on something. We've been bringing out these lessons and you see the mark of the beast coming. I suggest you guys get to practice and get on something. Don't just think everything's going to be ready. The least you can do is save your food. If you don't want to ever garden, okay, save your food. But I think you're going to learn some skills. What if you have to leave all that food you saved behind? You in another place, you got to learn how to grow something to do something. I believe you should do it. Think about your health. Okay? After you're done with the Sabbath lesson, you and your family can get together and say, you know what, let's watch some survival videos. Let's watch some gardening videos. Let's watch some things that, that are going to help us. Okay?
That it carries the same mortality risk as smoking, cardiovascular disease, and type 2 diabetes. Yet, when the average American reaches age 50, they lose about 10% of their peak muscle mass. By the time they reach age 70, they're losing about 40% of their peak muscle mass. And this isn't just about looking strong. It's about physical independence. It's about survival. So higher muscle mass is associated with a 30% lower all-cause mortality. Grip strength is
higher percent of muscle mass. You hear all these people, I just eat healthy. And most of the people who are eating healthy have no clue about gut health at all. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm trying to help you. Most of the people who eating, you're getting fiber to feed your microbes, but do you see the attack out here with heavy metals in the air, chemtrails? Do you see the attack on everything? Your gut is your bulletproof vest. Outside of the spirit, your gut. You have to keep your gut and your temple together to house the spirit. Are you out of there? You wonder why you short, you got an attitude. Probiotics give you happy hormones. You have some things that kind of sedate you to a certain degree, in a good way, relax you at night, right? But then probiotics gives you a happy high. Okay? This is important. Let me tell you, these white people are online having total discussions and talks about this. While we're sitting around, they came out with the new Cheetos, man. You got to try them with the jalapeno. Listen, it's all good, but you can eat what you want. But I'm going to tell you, once your body gets too much sugars, it starts to store them as fat. It only needs a small amount of carbs to survive for energy. The rest for the cells, okay, for your immune system, it needs proteins and fats. Your fats are low, you're going to have some issues. Your fats are low, you're going to have some issues. Your water is low, you're going to have some issues. Let's pay more attention to our health, our mind state, the people we're around, what we eat.
Actually a better predictor of cardiovascular related mortality, the #1 killer in the United States, than high blood pressure, and yet nobody talks about it. And strength is also associated with a 42% lower dementia risk.
Look at how important it is to stay in the gym, to do some pull-ups, to do some military workouts, to do some push-ups, to do some planks, to do some squats, definitely, because it works out almost the whole body. For men, it keeps your testosterone up because we're going to lose some testosterone as we get older, especially with all of this stuff going on. Everything's in plastic. Then you heat the plastic up. The teacups that you have from Starbucks, you heat that up, total plastic poison and microplastics going in that cup. You got to start carrying your own cup around these days, your own coffee cup. This is real out here. Let me tell you, I didn't tell you nothing that ain't facts tonight. Okay?
We think of resistance training as an add-on, as a luxury. It is not. It is a fundamental pillar of aging.
Oh my goodness. Lord have mercy. Listen, Miss White Lady. Thank you so much, Miss White Lady. I sure appreciate you. This is my sister right here. Look, she's just preaching straight truth right now. Huh? This is a good white sister giving you some truth. Or what God calls them, a good Edomite sister, giving you some wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that her forefathers is not. They trying to kill us while she's like, listen, I got to put this information out. If she only wanted to give it to white people, we wouldn't have been seeing it tonight. Huh? She's like, listen, all y'all out there, let me tell y'all something. I do this and I do that. Man, you weak, you lazy. Stop talking all of that because you don't want to get better and do right. Nobody said you had to be a bodybuilder, but she's sitting here telling you, just like Dr. Gabrielle Lyon, that I came on here, another white woman, that resistance training is just not, you just working out is not my thing. Not only will resistance training make you look fine, like aged wine, all the time, so you can stay on your shine and you could be able to still stay on your grind because you can't be saying, I can't move because you ain't lubricating nothing. You ain't pumping the blood. She said it's the fundamental pillar of aging. Let me tell you about Caleb in the Bible, who inspired me to name my son Caleb. Because, it reminded me a lot of myself and some of the older men who would just go hard in the paint when you thinking they ain't or they wasn't. Huh? Caleb said, I can go out and come back in from war at 80 years old. When you have, let me tell you, who just passed away just recently? It's a lot of people that's passing away right now. Now, obviously, a lot of them put things in their blood from 2020. They took shots and stuff like that. But listen, I just don't believe in my mind. In my mind, it's thinking about, and guess what? Anything can happen to anybody. Accidents, whatever the Most High's will. But whatever is in my control, I'm going to do my best to stay healthy. And that's how you should think. Not because I said it, because the Bible said it. He that endure to the end, the same shall be saved. You are housing a spirit. You're housing a spirit. Okay? So in my mind, I'm young forever. You know why? Because whether the flesh dies, you're still living. So really, you don't die. Like baby kids said, we don't die, we multiply. You have to have it in your mind. I tell my children, you're getting older, I'm getting younger. So while they're young, they are getting older. But I'm getting younger. The kingdom is almost here, so that means guess what? I'm gonna be young forever. Wisdom, knowledge, and clever.
It increases muscle mass, muscle strength, and bone mineral density.
You can't make this up. I've been telling y'all this for so long, me and your rock. Ramar, Elder Rawchaa. Increases bone mineral density. So when you fall down, I need somebody to help me up. I'm old. If you can't hit them weights yet, get them bands first. Let's pump it up. Let's warm it up with the bands first. Let's warm it up with the bands. You can be sitting right here in this chair. You got your little band. If you feel like you're too old, boom, get that tricep. Whoop. Get that tricep. Come on. Get that bicep. Whoop. Whoop. Get that bicep. Some of y'all don't even know the name of the muscle groups. It's time to get rid of the what you call that? The cauliflower arms and legs. You trying to get all these operations and facelifts. Don't you know the best facelift is high protein and building muscle? I just gave you the game. The best facelift or tightening of the face. High protein, low carb diet. You don't need all them sugars. We eating too much sugars. You eating too much yams and rice. It's all good to eat that, but let me tell you right now. See? This is where it's at. You want a facelift? You want to take your supplements, eat your protein, work out. Don't be doing anything that doesn't build muscle. Now, maybe initially because you're just starting, but do something that builds muscle. Don't kill yourself. You have to know your own little limits. But if you're injured, you're in a wheelchair, let me tell you, it's a dude that I can show you who's doing pull-ups in a wheelchair. He don't have no legs. Dude look more amazing than most people who can walk around on their legs. He got a brother that's helping him, lift him up to do the pull-ups, whatever the case may be in the dips, but brother looks totally amazing. What's your excuse and you have all your limbs? Let me tell you right now. You need to look good for your husband and you need to look good for your wife. And you need to be healthy to be around for your wife, your children, your husband. Don't make it to where they have had to get married to somebody again if they didn't have to because you didn't want to be healthy. We understand life happens, accidents happen, things happen. We're not here to talk about that. There's going to be rare situations of things. How long shall we continue to die from cancers and parasites when we can prevent it through? Let me tell you, I see people eating the most trashiest food ever, but because they work out, they outlive the people who's eating these healthy diets and don't work out. I'm just telling you the truth. Working out is something else. It's like a miracle to get off your behind.
Fractures are a death sentence. Between 20 to 60% of Americans that have a hip fracture die within a year. And yet, resistance training can lower fracture risk by 30 to 40%. This is preventable. We have the information. We have the data. We need to take action.
Listen, is she not speaking the scriptures? We need to take action. Well, let's read it again. With verse 23. Keep thy heart with all diligence. Go down to verse 27. Turn not to the right hand or to the left. Don't nobody take you off your path. Making excuses. We need to take action. She said we about that action. In her own words, we need to take action. All this talk, we talking about it. We got the information. What you gonna do about it? That's what Christ was talking about. What you gonna do about it? Be it as according to what your faith is. If we just having a good talk, you wasting my time. The first step is get it in your mind, and then now it's time for you to get on your grind. Okay? I'm just telling you.
Exercise, getting the right foods are the most important things that we can do to prevent disease and make a difference in our country. But the real problem,
thank you,
is simpler. We actually need to start thinking about physical inactivity.
Yeah, buddy. Let me tell you, she dropped it on y'all. Inactivity is a disease. Come on, let me tell you. We got another Edomite person right here. What's this guy's name here? I wish I could have his name, this sir here, this Mr. here. Dr. John Scharfenberg, a 100-year-old doctor, just shattered everything you believe about longevity. While you're obsessing over BMI, cholesterol, and blood pressure numbers, he's outlived his brothers by 17 years with one simple truth. It's not your weight, it's your movement. Let's hear what he says with fair use and educational purposes only. You know what I'm talking about?
Every day. That's very important. I have outlived my two brothers.
Hold on, I gotta rewind
13.
it. I gotta rewind it. Hold up. Hold up.
Exercise every day. That's very important. I have outlived my two brothers. 13, 14 years, 17 years. They're already passed away. And every year that's going to increase another year. And I'm not going to die next year. So it's going to keep going up.
But listen how he thinks. He's like, I'm not going to die next year. Now obviously he's not saying it in a cocky way, but he's just telling his mind. Obviously everything is according to the Most High's will. But it's okay to also be positive within his will. Because he just said, out of your mind or your heart flows the issues of life. How you think is what you're going to become.
But exercise is extremely important. I had a lady who helped me with the PowerPoint lectures. She was a graphic artist. She did it for a living, for advertising purposes. She did a lot of work for me, but she was kind of big. I mean, big. I said to her one day, you know, I've got to talk to you about your weight. I'm a preventive medicine doctor. I must talk to you. Her face fell. I said, do you want the bad news first or the good news first? She says, tell me the bad news first. You should understand that overweight increases the risk of dying from almost every disease we know. But now let me give you the good news. Even though you are obese, if you exercise every day, you will live longer than the woman who's normal weight who doesn't exercise.
What is it about exercise where if a person is overweight, she still outlives a person who's normal weight and don't exercise? Man, have I not given you the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding tonight of how important it is to exercise? I'm not talking about walking on no treadmill. And nothing wrong with that. I'm talking about, listen, let's build some muscle, because let me tell you, that's one of the biggest organs on the body, the skeletal muscle. You leaving yourself with fat. You leaving a home to parasites to hide in. You leaving sugars and too much glucose for them to eat on. Burn that off, because it's too much energy on you. Too much energy on you. You're not a bear. Okay? You're walking, hibernating. The bear, he stores it for the winter because he's fasting. And then he lives off of that energy. Sugars and fats are energy. You don't need that much stored energy because now it's too much weight on your heart. It's like you a truck. It's like you a truck that's not a 4x4. You're a little Ford, not even an F-150. We're that Ford Ranger compared to a big diesel truck, Ford truck. You putting too much weight on that little, you understand, that little Ford Ranger. It might be able to take it for the day, but it's gonna be putting the next day. It might not be able to start. Okay? Let's understand.
A man who smokes, has hypertension, has high blood cholesterol, but if he exercises every day, he will outlive the man who doesn't have any of those problems, who doesn't exercise.
I know people who own drugs right now, and because they exercise, they look younger and better than a person who's eating a healthier diet. Not that I'm saying you should be doing anything evil, wrong, or unclean. And I'm talking about because they exercise, they can move like they're young. Right? I'm just telling you the truth. They out there out moving and living, 20-year-olds and all that. On the basketball court. On the track field. Because they exercise. How many people y'all know you like, man, this dude smoke, drink, do all of this, but because he exercises or she exercises, that's you like, huh? Guess what? That heals disease in itself. I'm not saying all. I'm not saying that person won't have some ailments, but that's where the diet part comes in.
We need to.
Right? I'm dropping a $1,000,000 game on you guys tonight, like Callie Muscle say. Okay? Let's go into some of these restaurants about the food and why it's so important to take charge of what we eat in our own house. Now I'm gonna tell you something. Don't get jealous of me. Because you know the Bible say don't covet thy neighbor's things and belongings. But I got that good old sourdough bread. You understand, with that butter up in that kitchen that I can't wait to get to it. When you make that sourdough bread, how they got all them YouTube videos and you just crack that thing open, you hit a crack, and when you cut it, you hit a little crunch. I'm waiting on that. I can't wait to get to it. So I can't be on here with y'all too long. Because I like to eat. Okay? I'm going to just tell you, right? I'm a country boy who like to eat. Let's get it. But personally, my wife know I like to eat the food at home better than the food at the restaurants. That's just me. I know what's in my food. I know what's clean. And I take some raw milk today. Lord have mercy. I tried to get some raw milk today for the Lolo. Okay. And let me tell you, I love Israel, but sometimes Israel don't take the pride that Esau does into things. Let me tell you, I told you, Rock, I said, Lord, we got to pay $11 down here, and it's $15 in another part of Texas. All right, another part of Houston. I tried to get some for $7. Let me tell you now, that thing would taste like straight grass. And I was like, I must be tripping. I'm like, I must be tripping. I know I've studied if you don't clean the udders right, because I've milked my goats and things like that. You don't clean the udders right, and your whole situation is not on point. When it comes to hygiene and cleanliness and how you're feeding your animals with their diet correctly, you're going to be having some smells. And I can't tell you some of the other smells that was some of the milk. I'm going to tell you, they just wasn't cleaning things right. So we like, let's taste each one. One of them tastes okay. And so we had a little hope. Oh, now we had to pour them all down the toilet. And hey, I drank a little bit of it, and my body was like, this ain't it, Doc. That's all I can say. This ain't it. So I got to go back to the white man and get his milk. And I'm gonna tell him, sir, you're doing such a great job. We really appreciate what you're doing. I don't know if Issachar been living too hard, too long in Mexico or something, but I'm gonna tell you right now, we need to take more pride in what we do. We need to take more pride in what we do. I don't know if you've been in the sun too long, and I love you. But if you're going to give it for the Lolo, you got to take care of them cows and clean. Something ain't right. It can't be tasting like grass and, No. So see, I'm saying that, all jokes aside, because this is why some people don't want the raw milk. Because some people have tasted raw milk where people don't handle it right. And they don't ever want to taste it again. When I give them the milk that I buy from Major Farms, shout out to Major Farms and the gentleman there. He might be an Edomite, but he treating it right. You know what I'm saying? So his tastes very creamy and sweet. And they say they got all Jersey cows. I'm saying, you sure you got Jersey cows or Cali cows? Because something ain't right. I'm like, I can't even feed that to my chickens. I just poured it down the toilet. I tried to make butter from it. We couldn't even make the butter. We can't do it. Right? Shout out to Humble Service Homestead. She be on her milk grind. She be getting it out the mud, her and Mike, and getting it out the udders. But it's a hard job to do. So I understand how hard it is, but I'm going to tell you guys something. Homesteading is not easy. It's going to take some bartering. I don't care how great of a homesteader you are. It is going to take some bartering because it's just not enough time in a day sometimes to do every little thing. It takes a community. It takes a system. It is just not the easiest thing, guys. I mean, But yet and still, where things are going, we need to get to work on it and get better as much as we can. And what you're good at, you're good at. You trade with the next person. Hey, I'll give you some cheese, you give me this. And you do it like that. It's not easy. I enjoy it, but I'm going to tell you, it is some work. Our forefathers had a lot of servants, too, that were working and helping them. It wasn't just them doing it alone. Understand what I'm saying? But we're in captivity, and it's a lot of things that we have to do ourselves. Okay? But a lot of us need to start learning so that we can do it with each other. Okay? It's going to take some time, but we got to just get to it. Fair use educational purposes only. Be careful where you eat and what you eat. And I'm going to tell you again, a little trick you can do before you eat any place, even if you don't know what's going on there. Take your little apple vinegar, okay? Not raw. Always with a little water before you eat anything. You can take a little, we have our help starts in the gut. You can keep these two things in the car, okay? You can take either one or both. And if there's something in that food, you're going to be good, all right? So when you tasting some cows that taste metallic and it tastes like grass, that ain't it. And then it tastes like, something else, I'm good on it. I'm going to pay the $11.
Today to show you what you think you're getting when you go to a restaurant versus what you're likely actually getting. Let's go look. Going to the restaurant supply store.
Hold on. Can I have some more of that watermelon juice, please? Please, can I have some more of that watermelon juice? Thank you. Excuse me, guys.
Hey. You're eating at a restaurant, so they must be making scratch cakes. Let's see. Homemade. How about an apple pie? Ooh, yeah, soft serve.
Come and get your quick fix. Come and get your quick fix of your sugar. Just like crack. Come and get your quick fix, baby, at the fast food chains. So we can put you in the chains. And all the demons can hop in your body and reign over you. Okay? Let's get it. Pay attention to all of these. Let me tell you, this is what these people are doing. Y'all thought it was a game, didn't you? Oh, it ain't got nothing in there. Hey, hold up. Hold up, swole up, hold up.
Here's the moment you've been waiting for. These
fair use, educational purposes only. Let's get it.
bags have been sitting for the last 30 days. I don't even want to open this one because I accidentally peeked inside and almost threw up. It smells like something died in there. This Big Mac just hit 7 months old, and last month I had hundreds of requests to test with other burgers because frankly, people were getting bored by this, not changing. So last month I bought 3 brand new burgers, another Big Mac from McDonald's, a Whopper from Burger King, and a hamburger from Five Guys. They've been sealed in these greasy brown bags for the last 31 days, and people ask me every single day, what's the update? Here you go. I'm actually nervous to open these. It smells disgusting right now, which means it's probably rotting, which is what real food does. That's something I hadn't dealt with for these 7 months with the Big Mac. Okay, Burger King, let's see what you've got. Oh my gosh. That's not good. But, oh gosh. Oh, it's hairy. I can't even open it. I should be wearing gloves. Oh my gosh. Okay. There's our Burger King burger with mold all over. It's got some little hairs. There it is, black mold everywhere. You can see the little hairy things growing, but I guess that...
But I want to teach you guys something again. You have to understand what fungus and molds and microorganisms and worms, what their job is to do. Their job is to break things down. When something is sick or going bad, its job is to continue to break it down. And now they'll find a way to like Elder Rawchaa said, to make your white blood cells come and try to attack your own body. They've found a way to give you heavy metals where your natural candida is supposed to break that down. Your natural candida is supposed to break down heavy metals, but with too much metals, you have an overgrowth. And then you have too many white blood cells. When it's too many white blood cells, your energy, your equilibrium is off because they're always functioning too much because something's going wrong in the body. Now you have your gut is unbalanced. So now the worms that have a certain job, guess what? They're overdoing it. Okay? And guess what? Not that I'm not saying these worms are good, but if you keep your gut balanced, your microbes, they can fight off a lot of this bad bacteria. You get what I'm saying? They can fight it off to where you don't have to be parasite cleansing. We'll do a whole another show on how to properly. I'm gonna do another show, okay, on how to properly parasite cleanse and how often. I'm gonna do another one for you on that. Okay, and sometimes I'm going to actually go in the gym, try to make sure I have the proper attire. Okay, because I know I look like Batman and Superman on here. I'm sorry, that's just what it is. Because I stay in shape. You know what I mean? And guess what? I'm gonna teach some basic things sometimes, maybe with some people, I can teach you with, so sometimes I try to bring a little entertainment on here. That's why you see me, interviewing artists before, so sometimes we're gonna take you on the phone. We're gonna take you, where we're doing interviews and just different things like that to educate you guys. But check it out. This mode is growing on this to try to break this burger down. I'm gonna tell you guys something. You work too hard to give your money away to pay for something that is going to kill you. You are working so hard for your hard-earned money. Sometimes the cost of some of these things, you can go make it home. And if you can't make it at home, at least take an extra 5 minutes to go to a proper burger place who takes time to actually make burgers. Okay? Now, most of them are not going to have natural good bread. That's just the truth about it. Some places I go, they have sourdough bread. They have different types of bread, right? That are more better choices, but not all of them do. So that's where that apple vinegar and the help starts in the gut comes in. Keep it in your car, all right? Where the sun is not going to overheat it.
Exactly what real food should do. Next, let's check Five Guys.
I don't care what he's saying about Burger King. Still don't eat from these fast food chains. Find a little local mom and pop burger shop. Trust me when I'm saying this.
Oh my God, it smells so bad and it's stuck. Oh! Okay, Five Guys. Oh my gosh. Whoa.
Ooh, I can smell it through the screen.
Gosh dang it. That's, I guess, what you expect from real ingredients. This is so disgusting. The only good news is that means it's real. So I guess you can still eat there. Okay.
So what he's saying is the Five Guys is real. And I've eaten from Five Guys. I think I ate from there like last year. But I found out that they had too much chemicals in it still. So even though some of it's real, it's still infused with a lot of chemicals and things that will mess your gut lining up. All that. And you have to, and that's what I was telling you guys earlier. You're going to you keep restarting. You keep restarting. You're doing good, and you'll do one thing that messes your gut up, and you got to restart it, and it take about 3 to 6 months. Right? Just saying. Yeah. Let me see here. 1 second, guys. So we'll leave it there with that one. We're almost done here. I just wanted to give you some informative things tonight. I teach you guys a lot of lessons and things. So we didn't bring out too many scriptures, but just a little bit.
I just ordered me some food. I'm kind of losing my last brain cell in this car.
I think she may have some profanity a little bit, but you can't blame the sister. But let me see here.
because I just want to know. I want to know how I've been sitting here eating this meat and I noticed a row of teeth in my shit. And that ain't it. They got the top and bottom jaw in my shit. I just sat here and ate this food and bit into somebody. And I'm saying somebody because I don't know if this is an animal or a mother bowl of meat. Am I a cannibal? That is a carnivore? What the fuck is the word? What's going on?
Excuse me, guys.
What's going on, honestly? A row of teeth? I just ordered me some food.
So she has either a dog or a human. Sorry, I had to give me some more of this good old, you know what I'm talking about. She has either a dog or a human. Y'all want to go to these East Indian restaurants. You want to go to these Chinese restaurants. Guys, leave them alone. You listen, you know you can't trust, and I'm not saying all Jaffa is bad, but you know you can't trust the Chinese. We can make what you need. We can make for you, my friend. Anything you want, we can make. And the Arabs gonna tell you this is halal. Huh? They gonna tell you this is allowed because it's halal. And it's like they little lamb. You know how you go to the little Arab shops and they got the little, it's a so-called little shredded lamb or something. And it's like, that lamb don't look like that. Ak. What's this little meat y'all be having with the little yellow tint? And it's like the little brown when it's like, I'm sorry, man. Lamb, it don't look like that when I cook it. Lamb don't look like that when I cook it out. What is this? You know, you go to the little shawarma places and they got the little so-called lamb. I'm like, that's not lamb. As a matter of fact, you got some lamb steak back there. They give you the yellow rice with the... I'm like, that's not lamb. It don't even taste like lamb. I stopped eating from those places. Because when I cook lamb, it ain't coming out like that. What's this little way y'all got the lamb... Yeah, and y'all know what I'm talking about when you go to these places. They'll have the Chinese got the stuff cut a certain way. And you like, you don't even supposed to cut chicken like that. You're not supposed to cut chicken in the shapes that y'all cutting it. I think you cutting it like that to hide what this is. Huh? I need some of that wham bam thank you lamb. That ain't it. That's the Allahu Akbar lamb. I'm good on that. Is this donkey? What is this? So they done fed my sister here, and I guarantee you, she's either not going to shop from some places or here comes human nature. She get hungry again. She go back to the same place or something like it. They know. If some taste like East Indian in my house, take it back to the kitchen. I'm good on it. And guess what? I know there's some good East Indians out there. It really is. But once I've been seeing all of them little, what's this guy name who be joking on all the East Indian food? Super Ray. You know what I'm saying? He be, and, you know, in all the little videos with the little, they put the Quran on there. They be playing a little Quran joint. And I'm like, you know what? Every time I see the East Indians getting down, it's like, and you know, Iraq told me to give him a little break. But it's just interesting to me, man. It's just really interesting to me how they eat off the floor and all type of stuff. I'm like, man. I can't imagine being enslaved to those people. Father, have mercy on me. I just can't imagine. So they'll pour some hot tea on the floor. they'll pour some hot tea on the floor. When I say tea, I mean hot water. They'll pour it in their hands, and she'll rub it on the floor, and then they'll put their food on the floor. Let me see if I can find that. I know I sent that to somebody. I sent that to your Rock or somebody. 1 second. Let me see if I can find that thing. It's just unfortunate, man. It's just unfortunate. Where is it at? Hold up. One second. Yeah, buddy. Hold on, y'all. I might be able to find it. I might not, but I ain't trying to make fun of these people, but it's pretty bad right now, man. It just, I might have to let them be. I'm gonna let them be for the night. I'm gonna let them be for the night, guys. But it's, you know, y'all have to be careful where you go to. I know you like to eat sushi and tofu, but is it toe food? The Asians ain't gonna have no problem eating Leviathan raw. They eat everything raw. Huh? And this is what these are the effects of eating diets like this. Check it out.
You're about to see what happened in a doctor's conference in Brazil. And they brought absolutely every single COVID vaccine.
Fair use for educational purposes only. Okay, she represents herself, not our views. It just is fair use for educational purposes only. We don't know if it's true or not.
Saw each one of them under the microscope. This is what they saw.
Aí, gente, óxido de grafeno na vacina. Aqui, ó, o microscópio. Aqui tem todas as vacinas. Será que dá pra ver? Olha lá. Coloca mais perto. Aí, é essa imagem, gente, ó. Óxido de grafeno. Ali tem outra, sim. Vocês vão guardar? Qual vacina que é essa? Essa vacina é...
You know, it looks like we really need to get on our game. That's what it looked like to me. Now, I wanted to show this next video. I only have 2 more videos to show. But how your mindset, how the mind works. And how as a culture, we also are dealing with issues when it comes to the spiritual food of reading that Bible like we just read earlier. The Bible talks about washing the woman in the Word, woman learning at home from her husband. It talks a lot about marriage, the image of the Most High. And because the devil have separated a lot of families and made it to where we don't want to come together and we're blaming each other, just like Adam and Eve, people also, like women, they're lonely. They stress out. They don't have a partner. It's not just about the sexual side, that part. The benevolence thing. It's not just about that. It's about having you understand, a friendship, a companion that motivates you, encourages you every day when you got your ups and downs. This actually prolongs our health. So if this is what some of us desire and want, yeah, you might have made your mistakes. Pray to the Father. If you're a woman and you want to get married, you should be getting yourself in shape. You should be making sure you know how to cook. You should be making sure you know how to look and get yourself together. You should be making sure that you don't have an attitude. Get your gut health on point. The attitude going to go away. Exercise. It changes your mood. Okay? These are things important. Eat probiotics a lot especially for a sister. So when it's that time of the month and when your cycle, your body is cleaning itself out. During that time, sometimes, a lot of you don't know, you be dropping all type of things out of there. Fibroids, cysts, tumors. Your body is smart. I know this because I know. And if you do what I told you earlier, you always put that iodine in certain areas, top to bottom. Top to bottom. Your secret parts and all that, you know what I mean? Right? You know, ovaries, uterus, area, all that right there. Be consistent. Your body knows how to deal with certain things and get it out. You're like, I'm cramping, but really it's things coming out of there. You guys have to start studying. You'll go to the hospital and say, oh my goodness, you're dealing with this and that. No, your body was actually cleaning itself out. They took you to something else and didn't tell you, oh, your body was just cleaning itself out. Because you didn't tell him you was taking fenbendazole. You didn't tell him you was taking ivermectin. You didn't tell him you were taking some of these bitter herbs. You didn't tell him that. Huh? You didn't tell him you got your little extra copper in you. Colloidal copper, colloidal silver. Huh? I'm just saying, why you think our forefathers was eating and drinking with gold and silver and copper back in the past? Why you think that? Anything that touched some of this stuff totally destroyed. Why you think they had copper pipes? Microbes totally destroyed. Right? So now I don't have copper pipes, but all of the rich, my wife had found out that a lot of the rich, when they building their houses, they building that thing with copper pipes again. The same thing they took away from the past. Not only copper pipes, they building roofs with copper. It's all type of stuff that man, they've taken away from us. Right? So having a partner or a companion has something to do with health. People die lonely. But people don't want to do what it takes to get a significant other. Oh, he got to accept me how I am and who I am. Hey, no. Who told you that lie? Huh? Understand that you're second pickings now. With all due respect, that you're blessed, that he loves you for who you are to a certain degree, and he's willing to accept you because he can't find no virgins out here, and he's not judging you because you made mistakes, just like he did. Okay? Now, he may tell you a few things like, you know what? I desire this, and I want to do this and that. If you want to do that, cool. If not, it's all good. Huh? And he may say, hey, you know what? Your kids is almost grown. Can you let them get a job? Or, hey, have you asked your ex-husband, would he like to spend some time with his children so you guys can co-parent? Or maybe the son wants to go. Have you asked that? Because if not, some of you grow old because you were selfish. And then your children get married and then you're still alone. Because you were still having a grudge with that man from something that happened 20, 30 years ago. And you ain't let the child see him, and now the child end up seeing him anyway, and you like, I done did all this for this child. And he still went back over to that man because it's two sides to every story. And now it's too late for you to get married. It's time for you to be a widow. I'm just saying, you got to understand. Let me tell you guys, health, that's stress, that's anxiety. And I'm not saying every situation like that. Some men are sorry out here, man. Some men are total sorry infidels, like the scripture said, who won't provide for their own household. I know that. But some of you pass up a chance, is what I'm saying, sometimes, where you don't try to, work with this dude. Like, you're a pretty good lady, but if we could do this and do that, we can make this work. Your children get on, move on, get married, or go to jail, go to prison, get shot. Some happens, but they leave on, and then you left alone. Huh? It's in your nature to secure your children and want them to be safe. That's in your nature. Nothing wrong with that. That's good. But when a man comes and say, you know what, a good godly man say, you know what, we could do this, but we could do that. And I'm going through this because we still have relationship issues as Judah. Still. And then the man wants a woman. He wants one, but don't need one. That's a lot of Judah right now. A lot of Judah want one, but don't need one because he's not working hard enough to actually need a helpmeet. Okay? And a lot of the things that you want her to do, I'm going to be honest with you, it's a lot of things you should already know how to do for the most part. If she come home and you iron your clothes and you got a certain discipline about you when she's visiting you and all that, it's like, okay, he already got it going on. I can take this from him so he can grow and do better. Not so you can sit up and play the PlayStation and then she eventually is the one working and you have every excuse in the book of why you can't keep a job. Oh no. Or how you got hurt and you can't go back to work. You sprung an ankle so now you can't go back to work. Man, please. Man, please. It's a man who just come and fix my truck, which is why I had to come on a little later. I had dirt getting delivered and somebody fixing my truck. He got issues of seizures. He be getting sick every few days and all that. Let me tell you, he's still out in the hot sun working. I don't want to hear your excuse. He on 4 different medications, and I don't recommend all of that. So, I mean, I tried to help the brother on that, but he, you know, as you get older, you do what you want to do. But one thing I can respect about him, he's teaching his son he ain't no mark. He ain't weak. He out here working. You got other people with so many excuses. Don't want to provide for their family. They rather put it all on a woman. And this is how they keeping the woman going. Yeah, you that down chick. That's all they keep telling you that down chick. And as long as she keeps hearing that, if she's simple, that's gonna keep her going. Not knowing this dude straight playing her. Let me tell you, y'all don't know it's a lot of cats out there. I done been to the restrooms to use the bathroom. And y'all be looking at men, you think just because a man got stature and size that he's a man, they be arrogant. Most men are arrogant men. Most men are arrogant. I've met, arrogant. Very self-centered, looking down on men, always downsizing, high-siding other men. Yeah, this is what a lot of men do. Okay? It's just like it's hard to find a virtuous woman, it's hard to find a righteous man. So you be looking on the outside, you don't be finding no humble men. They so arrogant. They'll go in the bathroom. They'll go in the bathrooms, let me tell you, especially Issachar. And I love Issachar. But they be out there working in the construction and all, and I get it. But I didn't went in there and seen crap all on the toilets. Piss, all that, excuse my language. And I'm like, nah, I'm going to have to wait till I get home. Like, I ain't going to be able to use this restroom. It's just really bad. Like, a lot of times you go to the urinal, you got to spread your feet because there's pee all on the floor. It's bad in a lot of these places. And I'll see a dude go in that bathroom, sit down, close the door. Oh, like he's just relieved. And I'm just like, I know he didn't take time to clean this and got no cleaner. And I'm like, this dude going home to his wife, she don't even know what type of dude she dealing with. He hops out, don't wash his hand. This is every day. You go in these Home Depot bathrooms and all of that, it be full with men up in this joint. And I didn't check everyone to make sure they clean, because I bring my own cleaners and all this stuff. I bring stuff. And if you, I done seen it so many times. They as soon as they walk in that joint, sit down. And I'm like, I know he going home. Hey, baby, how you doing? Oh yeah, you know. Hey, brother. I hope you ain't got no white briefs. Huh? I'm gonna tell you, I hope you ain't got no white undergarments, because, woo, you done sat on something, and you might give your wife something. Be careful. How can you, listen, we got to take care of our health. You don't know that worms can come through you like that too? From being you walking around parks with your shoes off and there's dog poop all over the dog park. You get you a hookworm that goes up your foot that ends up in your colon. Dogs licking you in the face, in the mouth. Huh? Yeah, because you heard the dog got to clean his mouth. Okay. You let the cat lick you on the hand, like the Egyptians, they would let the cat lick them on the hand while they're making people pizza. Just because it's going to get purged with fire. I'm good on that. And you like, what this got to do with anything? It got a lot to do. It got something to do with happy marriages. Respecting and loving one another. Keep yourself clean when you go to these restrooms. Let me tell you, we need to have some standards here, man. I don't care if it's an emergency. You like, listen, go ask. Y'all got somebody to clean this restroom real quick? They're supposed to keep these things clean. And you know what's funny? It's not even always the overweight guys who's doing it. It be some regular cats hopping up in these restrooms, and I'm like, man, this is, yeah, get that fist bump, Ock. Get that fist bump. You know, we good over here. You done took the 2020 and you just sat on that, man. You was a walking zombie out here, and you going home to the wife and kids like that, man. That's deep. When you don't love yourself, you can't love nobody else. So I have to put that out there first. Lord have mercy. Because a lot of sisters think if they see a dude go to the gym, it's be cats in the gym mustied in the mud. He may work out, but his health of his hygiene is off. Smelling like straight must. You must take a shower, brother, before you hop up in here sitting on this machine. The dang on seat still smell like must. And then a woman, she see you fly on the outside, you put your little cologne on, but really you dirty. Now you got spirits on you from walking around dirty like that. And I'm telling y'all sisters, you can't just get with any dude just because he got muscles. You can't get with any dude just because he got muscles. I'm going to tell you right now, men, you need to do research on your woman. And hey, don't just get anybody from the outside. You see this HIV at an all-time high because people put this stuff in their blood in 2020. Houston, Atlanta, some of the highest. Baltimore, you know the little dirty cities in the inner cities of downtown where people like to party and pop it on each other. They don't know, they thinking it just come from intercourse. Oh no, people put stuff in their blood and they sharing all type of fluids. See, when I go to the restaurant, I got to make sure the spoon is clean and all of that. Oh no, I'm cleaning my own spoons. Or I'm bringing my own spoons. Y'all, let me tell you, health, you can get caught slipping on any level. Your sister come home, let me tell you, she thinks she got her knight in shining armor. Knight in shitty armor.
If a man is married, he will live longer. If a black man is married, he will be healthier. If a black man is married, it's less likely that he will have Alzheimer's. If a black man is married, he will be wealthier. So we have to have this communication on the actual physical benefits, the psychological benefits, the sociological and the economic benefits, because many times we're in a culture that is just trying to check boxes. If a black man is married, he will live longer.
Why will he live longer? Because he's happy. He's not stressed. He feels healthy. He feels like I need to go out here and conquer to come home to somebody who loves me. I have a purpose of something to live for. Not that God is somebody not to live for, of course. But this is God's image. And you're talking about a people who have been taken captive who don't understand what it is like to have happiness in a marriage. There's nothing wrong with that. I would promote marriage to a people taken captive. I would not promote being single to a people taken captive. Not that there's wrong to be single, but I wouldn't promote it to a people who don't know love or how to love each other and who haven't seen it. Oh no.
If a black man is married, he will be healthier.
He will be healthier. Yeah, like your rock says, something to provide and protect for. When you have daughters, believe it or not, it prolongs your life. It does. Every man know I got a daughter, I have to be a better example. Obviously, you got to be that way with a son. But you know, when you got a daughter, like, it's, you get a sense of, like, extra protection. I need to make sure I'm working out. I need to make sure I'm staying on my game. Right? You don't want to get into it like some people who have left their own children and daughters. And in every situation, not the same. But it's very rare, you know, so a lot of men sometimes, and a lot of it comes from the baby mama, but that you leave your own daughters and you just give up not trying to have a relationship with your daughter. If you can, it'd be nice. If you can. If not, understood. But man, but you know, we're in captivity, so it's a lot of crazy situations out there. But man, don't ever give up on your children. Okay?
He's married, it's less likely that he will have Alzheimer's.
It's less likely he will have Alzheimer's. The woman is looking after his health. He's looking after her. Right? His mind is going to be focused, less stressed. I'm going to tell you, the body works different when it's not under so much stress.
Black man is married, he will be wealthier. So we have...
Yeah, because you're working together to build that empire. You're working together to build that empire. So these are just a few examples of how it's not too late, guys. I just want to show you this really quick, all right? It's not too late for you. Uh-oh. Now look how beautiful this lady had become. Even though she got gray hair, you can see the tightness of her skin, her face, all that. Her movements are much more easy. It's not about how you start, it's how you finish, guys. She's 79 years old. In 3 years of consistency and diligence and keeping her mind on point and focus to be better, look what that. She produced life. We read it in Proverbs. It says, keep your heart, in verse 23, with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. If your mind is on point, you will be dedicated through all your mistakes, all your trials, all your obstacles to continue to endure. I don't care if you 300 pounds, whatever you are, find out what's going on with your health, your diet. Find out what diet is good for you. Some of you do have to go on extreme diets for the first few months or maybe first year. Some of you do have to go on high protein, low carb diets and high fats. Some of you do, to use the fats as energy first. So your sugar levels are not all over the place. Some of you do. And then you can slowly transition and wean yourself off of those extreme diets. Right? But it'll keep your skin tight where your skin is not sagging. And that's why you try to build muscle, because if you'll just be skinny fat. It's a lot of people who are obese. When they lift heavy enough, the body will still tighten up to where they don't have to go and get surgery because they had this, too much skin on them all the time. Trust me, it takes time. It's a lot of power lifters who will go heavy. They build so much muscle, right? And they burn a lot of that energy off. And as they're coming down, it's not as bad as a person who just tries to do it too fast. Where now they have to go and get surgery and to help their skin. It don't always have to be like that. Take your time. Like the white man said earlier, you will still live longer than a person who's skinnier than you by continuing your exercise. It's your journey. It's your journey. Okay? It's your speed. It's your pace. But just start. I don't have to care about you. Let me tell you. I don't have to care. But I appreciate, the temple. As your shepherd, I appreciate it. I remember when I messed my ankle up and I walked down the stairs with those crutches. And I've always been a person to have six-pack abs. Never, I can eat Oreos, Snickers, you rock. No, we eat a bunch of calories out there in Egypt. But let me tell you that, hey, I was a certain age. And that's my genetics. I was ripped. But as soon as I was not able to use that ankle, the metabolism slowed down. And then it was harder to achieve what God had already blessed me with. Right? And you're talking about it for the person who worked out my whole life. Always been in sports. Don't take it for granted because you can get an injury. But I was like, man, I don't care if I'm injured. I'm walking down them long flight of stairs. going downstairs at the time when I had my bench in my garage, and I would work out. I still didn't miss a day. All right? She was 76. Look at her now. The whole spirit, you look like two different people. I'm telling y'all. Let me tell y'all something. Don't matter. Let me tell you. A person can lose weight faster. You don't matter. Everybody got their own journey. But when you get back to that face that's tight, I'm going to tell you right now, you love it. You love it. You do. You love it. You be like, man, what you doing? That high protein, because like I said, protein make you lean, carbs make you large if you eat too much of them. Okay? Not that fats can't, but fats really, if you're eating the right fats, usually when you're eating fats, the body burns off fat. But carbs, it stores it, unfortunately, as fats and sugars to feed these parasites. Okay? Especially if not, when you're eating sugar, remember, you're eating sugar for energy. You eat too much sugar and you're not burning it off, there you go. Right? If you're not eating butter, if you're not eating like dairy, like the scripture says, if you're not eating olive oil, you're going to have some issues in that body with your cholesterol and things like that. You will. You can't go cheap on the oils, guys. I'm going to tell you, you don't need as much food as you think. You just really need more protein. You eating so much carbs, your body tells you I need more because you're really not getting protein. That's just the truth. Okay? Protein, I'm talking about for cellular function and muscle. Now, obviously, there are amino acids, but you're going to have to choose some high-quality fibers like quinoa, the right rice, and things like that. Especially if you're overweight, you need to choose like quinoa. You need to choose like wild rice because they have a stronger fiber, high complex carb. All right? So, I think, how many, let me see. I think I got one more link here. Let me see. Now check this out. For you who are young and taking advantage of your body like you're going to always be healthy and fine. No, she's going to give you some advice of what you should do, of what she would have done. And some things I would have done, I would have probably focused a little bit more on functionality and mobility. I'm not talking about just playing sports and stuff. I mean like hip and glute exercises when I was younger, earlier. That's just the truth, because then you will not have so much lower back injuries from doing these things. That's just the truth. Hanging from the bar, all these things. Now when you get old, you're like, man, we used to think it was gay to work glutes. We weren't trying to work no glutes in front of no dudes. Now, I think a lot of football players would do it, but we really wasn't down with that. We were like, man, I don't need no butt. I don't need to be working no butt. Until you get older, you realize it's one of the biggest muscles on the body. Not only that, it actually gives space between those discs. It takes pressures off your knees. So when we were young, we were not taught to work any glutes at all. Neither do we want to show a lot of videos of working glutes to other dudes, especially on Instagram out there. Why you don't show a lot of leg videos? Because I don't really want a lot of dudes who's out there on this LGBT stuff to be like, yeah, I'm subscribing to him. I'm good on that. All right? Cats out here is like, yeah, you did a good job. He means something totally different. Okay?
3 pieces of advice to my 20 years old self. Let's go. Starving yourself will definitely make you lose weight, but it will also earn you pre-diabetes and...
So, when you're young, like she's telling you, okay, you have to understand your body. You can also get pre-diabetes when you're just trying diets all over the place because you don't know what you're doing. It's okay to eat. There's times where you have to fast, but you have to understand how this thing works. You're just jumping on these diets off and on, especially the way this world is made. These vegetables do not have the same nutrition. This food does not have the same nutrition. Exercise kind of helps to balance a lot of this. Sunlight, vitamin K2. I mean, let me tell you, vitamin K2 is so important. me tell you, gut health is so important to absorb the minerals, to absorb the vitamins. Gut health is so important. A lot of people, I don't like this stuff. Okay, cool. That's on you. If you don't like the way kefir tastes, you have to make you a little drink with it. You can actually take like some of those little cutie oranges and tangerines, mix it in, you know, with a little honey in your kefir, make you a nice little smoothie or shake with it. It tastes amazing. It does. You want to put you a little, you know, cream, ice cream, whatever the case may be, but I wouldn't do that too much. You want to eventually get used to the basic taste of it, to be quite honest. Drink you some raw milk. It was another daily thing that we did because it helped the gut. It was a daily thing to drink raw milk, daily thing to have daily bread. Why do you think during the time of Passover that the Israelites had to make flatbread? Because the sourdough, if you make sourdough, it takes time to make the daily bread of the sourdough. It takes time. It takes hours for it to rise and do all of these different things. That was our daily bread. Okay? So that's why we had to make flatbread. You have to understand how this thing works. And then I'm sure when we left, you understand, like, I don't know what happened to our sourdough starters back then, if we carried them with us or not. Because we ended up eating manna out there. But I'm sure someone around always had some sourdough starter. Okay? So take care of your diet, eat healthy, and exercise.
Loss of muscle mass, and you're gonna fight this.
This is fair use, YouTube. Fair use for educational purposes only, because I hear this puffy song in the background. This is for fair use. We do not own the rights to this. This is fair use, okay?
In your 40s. Wanna have beautiful body, build up your muscle mass, not just cardio and running.
Not just cardio and running. Okay? I keep telling sisters who's lazy, well, I walk on a treadmill. You ain't building not a thing of muscle. You're going to have cottage cheese on your legs, and I'm just keeping it real with you. Somebody had to tell you the truth. Somebody had to just keep it real with you. Keep your legs smooth by building muscle. If you're lazy, here's a lazy way to work out. Get on the quadricep machine at the gym. Or you can buy one off of Amazon or go to Academy. If you don't like doing that, you're going to have to run, sprint, do some squats. I'm trying to keep you fine like wine. Huh?
Have so much time that you're just wasting. Think how to turn it into health and money so you don't have to worry about it in your 40s.
Now, I don't know what she mean about money. I don't know if she got a side job, but we don't need no Instagram models. We talking about health tonight. We ain't going to the clubs in Atlanta, if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So yeah, guys, tonight that's what I wanted to drop. I got to get off of here. I got too much to do this week, and I'm gonna leave it there. Not gonna open up the calls right now. We will do some calls soon when I come on a little earlier. Right now, I've just been really swamped and behind, catching up on a lot of things, and just still trying to feed you and things like that. But I want to tell you something. Keep in mind also that the Most High, He really gave us the whole format, like a shepherd taking care of a sheep, for example. For example, with ivermectin, if you take ivermectin too much, your worms are going to get used to it. Okay. There's a man who said he cured his cancer from taking dog dewormer. That's what he said. I played that for you guys before. The active ingredient in that dog dewormer is fenbendazole. Now that one taking every day, the active ingredient for humans, the worms don't get used to that one. And I gave that one, my daughter gave that to the cat that stays around here. It looked like a whole tumor came out of the cat with a whole long tapeworm. I'm just saying. Giving that to the sheep before. Seen a long, big worm. I don't have to share these things with you guys. I'm just telling you the truth. But fenbendazole likes to be taken with fats to be absorbed by the body. That's as far as I'm gonna go. You have to do your own research for the rest, but that's the active ingredient in a lot of dog and livestock dewormers. The worms do not get used to that. I didn't say donkey worm, I said tapeworm. Okay, pretty long too, right? Because the cat was getting very skinny. So I don't know if it had what people call so-called cancer or whatever the case may be, but he was not moving how Max used to move. And he was chilling for like 2 weeks. And so we gave him some fenbendazole, okay, that we, had around the crib and for ourselves. But we gave him, it's like a tiny little spoon of it. Mixed it with a little bit of his meat, his raw meat. And, hey, the next day, it was I think it might have been two or 3 days we gave it to him, but we seen a big, something that looked like a sack with other little worms in there with a long tapeworm, as if this was like a tumor or something in him. And he'd been better. So, it's just crazy how important our health is and how if we don't take care of it, I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to be going through it. We're going to be going through it. I remember one of my goats had a blind eye. Gave her a few dewormers. After a few weeks, she could see out of that eye again. So, all I'm saying is, we really need to take care of our health. But what did the Most High do naturally for us? Being that we are considered his sheep. Well, in springtime, it's when a lot of farmers are recommended to deworm their livestock in spring. And then again in fall. Well, so you the summertime, the parasites, you need to understand what I'm talking about here. I'm giving you gazillion dollar game. So in the summertime, the worms are not so prevalent on the soil where the livestock is eating because the heat is so hot where they cannot live. So in spring, it still has a little dew and things like that. Not that dew don't come every night, but it's far more hot in the summertime. So in the spring, what did the Most High have us doing? On Passover, like you would do your livestock, eating bitter herbs. Your wormwood, your this, your that, right? All of the things we know that you understand. And I'm coming out, it should be here within a week or two. Finally gonna have a new, now this one's gonna be bitter, particularly this, and I do have an oregano oil in the near future that's gonna come out that's gonna be very palatable, because oregano oil is just too, it's too powerful. So I made it to where it's my own recipe and it is amazing. I mean, you can just keep taking it and you have no issues. I'm talking about even my children take it, no issues. With the same power. So that'll be coming out very soon. And that does its own thing as well. But we have our pair of sites coming out pretty soon. Okay? So just to let you guys know, pair of sites. That's what we called it. Just so you guys know. That should be here in a week or two. But I'm going to tell you guys in another show how to do this. I'm just giving you a little basic thing of how the Most High did it. Because there's more in-depth stuff that you need to know about it than what I'm saying. Because the world is different now. He gave us bitter herbs on Passover. Like his sheep. Like his flock. Then we go to all the way down to about fall. Some of these come not out but by fasting. We have the Day of Atonement. The Most High is using these things to cleanse our bodies. You understand. And he left the space between it so the worms are not getting used to certain things. Not that they get used to the bitter herbs, but it's not about just over producing bile that the worms are they can't stand too much bile, so it will help to kill them off. And that's what the bitter herbs does to the body. Okay? I have it in my notes here. 1 second. Let me just get it for you how powerful the Most High is, man. Let me tell you something. I be having a lot of stuff. I just don't come out with everything, but I try to be real careful on some of this stuff. But so, you know, some of the bitter herbs: wormwood, black walnut hull. You guys know that clove, neem, dandelion root. So these are all biostimulants. Okay. So, for example, I'm just giving you some quick examples before we go into the details on another show about how to properly parasite cleanse. And there's so many protocols out there. What I'm going to tell you won't be the right way either, okay? The wormwood, for example, kills adult, allegedly, kills adult worms, increases bile, destroys larvae. Black walnut hull, anti-parasitic, antifungal, purges intestines. A lot of you know all this already. Clove kills parasite eggs. Olive leaf, antimicrobial, cleanses blood. Neem disrupts parasite reproduction. Dandelion root, biostimulant, supports liver detox. So, the Most High knew exactly what he was doing. Give the children of Israel, because they like my flock and like my sheep, bitter herbs. Wait a few months down the line, fall is coming, the temperature is getting a little bit more dewy, the grass is staying a little bit more wet a little longer. Let them fast, cleanse their temple again. We started over again in the spring. You see what I'm saying? So I just wanted to put it out there, like, listen, the Most High had already been on it. But if you actually do it too much, then your gut is kind of thrown off. So you don't want to just be eating bitter herbs all the time. Obviously, they're not made to be tasty or palatable because you're not supposed to do it all the time. The Most High made it that way, so naturally we wouldn't want to do it like that, okay? Let me see here. So increasing digestive bile, which is toxic to parasites. Breaking down the mucus and biofilm, interfering with parasite reproduction cycles. Now look at the Most High. Bitter herbs produce and increase the bile. It's toxic to parasites, breaking down mucus and biofilm. Look at the Most High. Right? So you can't overdo things just because you're always worried about killing parasites. You got to let your gut rest, keep your microbes and your microorganisms high. Now, how do you do that? You have to eat fiber, which are vegetables. You have to eat probiotics, which homemade is best. Homemade has everything. What were they drinking back then? They were drinking wine. Not high alcoholic wine like people think. A lot of you think that that's how they was drinking. They weren't drinking a high alcoholic wine. It took them a lot to get drunk. So if they was getting drunk, they were drinking way too much. Not that wine wasn't high alcoholic if it was stored. Once it's stored, the alcohol increases to preserve the wine. That's what the alcohol is for, to preserve the wine. Okay? The crazy alcoholic drinks were to give a person if they were dying. Not that people didn't drink it every now and then, but it was mostly for people dying or hurt if they needed some type of surgery or to pour some on something. That's what it was for. Okay? Because too much alcohol lowers testosterone. It is not good for you over time. You get Alzheimer's. You get all type of things. Diabetic. This is what happens. Just telling you the truth. Your blood sugars become all over the place from dealing with it too much. Right? So the Most High specifically knew what he was doing. You have to focus more on your gut, people. You're gonna. I know you don't like sauerkraut, yogurt. I didn't either. I did not stand no yogurt until I realized how important it was for that gut. I said, you know what? I started in Egypt to consume. What was it? It was whey. I used to get whey from a farm all the way back in Egypt. I used to make my little lemonade whey smoothies. I would get the whey, the raw butter all the way back in Egypt. I would get that from farms. So now I'm here. I learned about the raw milk and things like that. And hey, there we go. So I'm going to leave that there for you. Search for raw milk in your areas. Try to start making you some raw milk kefir. It's far more better for you to get raw milk kefir. Those of you who are in Ohio, I think it's illegal there. You might have to find somebody who, you know, on the low or something, because it's rough out there. Or you can take you some milk from the store, some good A2 milk from the store, and try to at least make you some yogurt. But worst case scenario, like I said, you can make you some yogurt from some A2 milk from the store. Worst case scenario, make you some sauerkraut, some kombucha, so you can still get your K2, okay, along with the K2 we sell from keysupplements.com, all right? So that's all I have for you guys tonight, man. I'm going to get up out of here. That sourdough is calling my name. And, you know, don't forget, if you want to, you understand. Let me go here real quick. If you want some supplements, some pretty powerful supplements that are always selling out, the selenium will be back in stock, I think this week, no later than next week, the selenium. Okay, because that's one of our powerful sellers, the iodine and selenium. All of them, really. Iodine, iron. If you want blood flow, get our beetroot powders on here, okay? If you're dealing with anemia issues, go and read our articles on our Iron Anchor. Okay? Read the articles on the Iron Anchor. I do not go a day without this. If you're on your cycles as a woman, I'm going to tell you right now, we have Lugos Iodine, the Iron Anchor, our B12 drops. I'm going to tell you, game changer. And if you really want to get serious, add the selenium to make sure that it's going straight to that thyroid. Okay, game changer. We've got men's health supplements, prostate, detox, magnesium, one of the #1 supplements that people are not taking, colon sweep, ultra test to keep the testosterone up. I take it every morning. I take that every morning, and then I take my beetroot powder with my ashwagandha. Ashwagandha, when it comes to cancer, hey, look it up. I can't tell you what it does on here. Urinary tract balance. Okay? Got the protein on here. Right? Got the B12 drops, turmeric with the ginger. All right? It's a lot of different things on here. We got the gummy vitamins, obviously. All right? Some people like the gummies. All right, and those omega-3, 6, and 9s actually work. If you're dealing with joint issues, you really need to make sure that you're getting those things on point, okay? Got the immunity boosters. Berberine, one of the top supplements when it comes to people dealing with, promote things about diabetes. One of the top #1 supplements. Deals with, well, I'm going to say it like this. When it relates to biofilm, look it up. Vitamin D3 plus K2, one of the top supplements in the whole world, period. Because people are not getting probiotics. Okay? Digestive enzymes have papain and protolase coming from pineapple and papaya. Okay? I keep this in the car. Mushroom blend. I don't sell mushroom coffee because it's really a marketing scheme and it's not actually coffee. So here's everything that they're selling out there in a blend to keep your fungal activity on point. So you don't, if you're dealing with candida, here's the mushroom blend. They're just mixing mushroom powder with coffee. I don't promote coffee because a lot of people are having health and gut issues from consuming coffee, not caffeine. Two different things. Okay? If you stop drinking coffee for a month and you have benefits, come and holler at me and give praises to the Most High. I'm just telling you the truth. Okay? Especially sisters. When it comes to cycles and hormones, just try it out. Hey, I've already had sisters emailing me and all that. So, hey, I'm just telling you. All right? Glucose success. People dealing with sugar issues. Glucose success. Ashwagandha. Look it up. Ask your mama. All right? Deep Calm formula for those who deal with sleep issues. I cannot name it what I used to name it. Having sleep issues at night, anxiety issues. We have something called Deep Calm formula. Menopause things. We have something for menopause here, but you need to work out. You need to actually lift weights. You need to work out on the regular. Take beetroot powder, okay? The minnow piece. Make sure you're getting probiotics at home, or you're going to take some good probiotics. I really am not selling probiotics anymore, except for right now, except for kefir. Okay, I because kefir is a top in the world. I'm just telling you the truth. So I'm selling kefir on my sister site, Lions Homestead. Kefir grains, not kefir grains. So you can make it right at home. It's very easy. We tell you how to activate it, okay? More magnesium, and we have another magnesium coming out. I take this one every day. Magnesium, the number one supplement people are not taking while they're having cramps and things like that, all right? So I just wanted to go through some of those things there. You can go through this stuff if you want to, or whatever the case may be. When you're not getting enough protein, obviously we got our whey protein. I take pre-workout every day. Some people don't like taking pre-workout. It really helps me out. Moringa, the top tree in the world. I mean, moringa, that's in my tea every day. It's not going to be missed. Taking that for years before I had a supplement company, okay? You know, the whey protein, whatever you need, guys. So make sure you come if you need it. All right, and be consistent. Don't think anything's going to happen overnight. You must be consistent. When it comes to Amaya, you said varicose veins, lack of copper. You might want to get you some colloidal copper. Okay? Make it or get it. Look it up. Research it for yourself. I'm not a doctor, so you can't take anything I'm saying serious. For those who have ears, let them hear. Okay? Copper. Okay? So I just got to get up out of here. Oh, well, Lanissa Terry, you probably have an overactive thyroid. Sometimes you have to pay attention to your thyroid in your body. For those who have overactive thyroids, sometimes it's better for you to just rub it on there. Okay, and you're going to have to lift weights, because that's another thing. A lot of people, hormones is all over the place because they do not work out. People walk, but let me tell you, you do not work out. If you call what you're doing a workout, that's not working out. Y'all need to get on here. One thing I can say about all of those Instagram people on there, and especially the sisters, they working out for vanity, but because they're working out, they're not dealing with a lot of these issues. Even when they get older, when it comes to menopause, they're actually like working out. You got to work out. You got to take this thing serious, because back in the days, our sisters carrying water, giving water to the men, like they was on it. They was squatting down in the garden. It's things that we really have to do. But if you have an overactive thyroid, I suggest you pay attention to the doctors in the book called The Iodine Crisis. Read our article on KIIYsupplements.com. And if it's overactive, what a lot of people are doing, you just rub it on there. Okay, but you're going to have to eat a high protein diet, because I've been doing this a long time. And I'm going to tell you, I've been doing it a long time. And what I come to realize is that out of a lot of things, people are either lacking consistency or not working out. They're either eating the wrong oils, they're snacking too much when it comes to sugar. Like I said, eating the wrong oils, not eating healthy fats, not eating enough protein. So blood sugar is all over the place. And guess what? It's not just one thing causing hormone issues. There's going to be many things. They're eating the wrong salts. They're eating iodized salt. All of these things have to be filled in, guys. I'm going to just tell you the truth. If not, you could do every other thing you think is right. But you can have some issues. And parasites are your hormones in your guts is all over the place for that too. So let's everybody try to drop some of this fat we're dealing with, some of this sugar. Sugar is one of the main causes of obesity. That's just the truth. It's not fats. It's the wrong fats. And it's the processed sugars. Okay? So if you can pay attention to what I'm saying there, and you can find time, I don't care if you only got 5 minutes a day. you can do a 5-minute workout with some weights, and you do that once a day or 3 times a week, and just increase, you're going to be like, wow, my elder was right. It wasn't just this or that, and I'm blaming it on this or that. Guess what? It was something else you was dealing with. You ain't eating probiotics. You ain't working out consistent enough, right? And you're not getting the right fats. Those of you who are overweight, listen to what I'm saying to help you guys. High protein, high fat, low carb diet. All the way down to even like 150 grams of carbs a day. If you serious. If you ain't serious, because you can eat those carbs later once you start working out. Once you start working out, right, your body going to need those carbs. But you must even slow the transition down. If you eat a cup of rice, go to a half for like 2-3 weeks. Then go to a quarter next 2 or 3 weeks. Do it slowly, and then there you go. So, I'm praying for you guys, for your success. I love you. All right. And don't forget to go to historytimes.org.
The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.